Good evening. Welcome back to our channel. Hey, 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 beautiful people. How are we doing? I hope we are doing well tonight. Welcome back to our channel, guys. I hope you're well. Happy Wednesday. You've missed me. I haven't even been gone for a week. Nina, you're excited about today's show. I've definitely missed you, Auntie B. I haven't even been gone for a week. I was thinking I would go for like maybe a month. I was looking to go for a month and you missed me already. Oh, thank you. Hit the like button as you're coming in. Good evening, guys. Welcome back. How is everybody doing? I hope you are well. I hope you are good. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Those of you who are on my Instagram page already know we've been having a very, very heated conversation. Oh my God. The conversation, not be here, oh, my people. Be having a conversation about married but lonely. So that's what we are here to talk about tonight. Romance, lack of romance. Hmm? Somebody says, Seti said, I want to cross-check my notification. I've been very, very consistent. So yeah, I see why you feel like maybe you didn't get the notification. Yeah, please hit the like button as you're coming in. Welcome. I'm sure your notification is fine. I wasn't on. Yeah, I wasn't on. I wanted to take a month off to rest. If I tell you what I've been doing, you will laugh. I've just been chilling. Let's just say I'm chilling. I've been chilling. Yeah. City said, I even went to cross check my notification if it's still on. Oh, bless you. Tony Tone, you miss me. I miss you. And that's why I'm here. Mm? Thank you so much, Tony Tone. Chidinma, I appreciate you. My 1 month, I didn't even last 1 week. Chai, you guys, I think you've become like a part of my family now that I can't do without you guys. I cannot. I just cannot do without you guys. I can't. It's so hard, you see. This love is real. This community is real. This relationship is real. We are in a relationship. So thank you, everybody. Stephanie, how are you, darling? Adana, welcome. Jimmy, I see you. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Good evening, good afternoon. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's been just a couple of days. Uh, and here we are again today. We did say that for the rest of this year, we just want to cash cruise, we want to chill, we want to Netflix and chill. Actually, I heard that's a real thing. Netflix and chill. Mhm. Yeah, Jimmy said this is the kind of relationship that you hold on to, right? Yes, 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 yes. You're welcome. Victorine, you've been busy with school and work. Oh, Pele, all the best to you, my darling. It's nice to see you. Very lovely to see you guys again. So, we want to have a conversation today. And today, I'm not going to even do the talking by myself. I want everybody, if you feel like you've got something to say about this topic, I want to hear it. And I want to hear it from both men and women. Okay? We don't discriminate on this platform. It's those who don't know us that think we discriminate. And what are we talking about tonight? It's about that video. There's a little video that I shared this morning where I shared it on my TikTok. I've not been consistent on TikTok. But I did share a video today where I was saying that wives, we need romance. So wives need romance too. How many of you saw it? It generated a lot of conversation on Instagram and even on YouTube. Okay. Miriam, welcome from Nigeria. Appreciate you. God bless you. Okay. Thank you. Uncle Michael, we were talking about you the other day when we were talking about boys, my last live stream was on Saturday last week, Saturday morning here in the UK, and we were talking about raising boys. A lot of people called your name and said that we need to bring you to talk to us about raising boys. You've got three boys that you raised successfully in America. So thank God I've got your contact. I'm going to have to invite you for that show. People are looking forward to that show. We want to invite people who've raised children successfully in the diaspora, both men and women, single, married, it doesn't matter, complicated, divorced, separated. It's not about your marital status, it's about what you did right in raising your children, especially boys, that has worked for you that you can share with others. A lot of people are struggling. So, Nkwade, it's really nice to see you. Please put us in your diary. I will send you an invite and we'll set it up. Tonight, we are talking about romance. A lot of married women are lonely. Okay? They are married but lonely. Shebi, we thought that when we were growing up that if you are single, your parents tell you stay away from boys, boys will get you pregnant, they will abandon you. So face your studies or face your work that you are learning or apprenticeship, whatever you are doing, face it. When you get married, then you are free to, do all sorts of things within the marriage with your husband. Ladies and gentlemen, we are finding out now, it's not new, but in our culture, everybody is hush hush about things. Nobody wants to say anything about anything. We are finding out now that a lot of women are married, but it's like they are single. Why? Because they are lacking in the fundamentals of marriage. Number one is romance. Women love romance. I love romance. Every woman that I know, I was watching our last show today, and when he was talking about Man of Prestige, he was talking about Stella Damasos, and it was like, oh, it's love, right? Everybody loves love. Even the most hardened person that you can think of, they love love. Dear African men, Nigerian men, welcome you to this Orietoyi. Yes, it's a real thing that you can be married and single, and that is because people are living separate lives. Okay, not just living separate lives in terms of finances, sharing house like housemates. Oh, thank you so much, Uncle Ade. God bless you, sir. Not just sharing bills, you are sharing a house, you are sharing responsibilities, whatever. But now, like, there is no romance, zero romance. That's what we are here to talk about. Okay, Lady Amaka, please come back when we are talking about raising children in the diaspora, okay? Thank you so much for that comment. That's not the show for today. She said, I have raised four sons in the UK between the ages of 27 and 18. One important point is to be their friends so that they are able to come to you with anything. Thank you for that. I hope you'll be able to make it when we are talking about raising boys in the diaspora, Lady Amaka. Thank you so much for that. Today, we are talking about wives who are feeling neglected. Brownie. Brownie is here. Oh. Some people are joining me from Nigeria too. Cynthia, Iwoda, where are you? My friend is here from Nigeria. And I just want us to put our mouths together. This is not to, we're not here to bash. We are not here to criticize. We are here to call your attention to something. A fẹ́ pè yín sí àkíyèsí ni. Àkíyèsí ni. And before we started the show, I was telling my honorable guest that my own husband is sitting on this table in fact, he's the chairman of this table that we're talking about today. So that video that I did today, I sent it to him. And you will be wondering, why am I sending it to him? Shebi we live in the same house. Why can I talk to him? I don't talk tire. My mouth is paining me. So I sent him the video. And I also sent people to him. He is the chairman of this table that we're talking about. You never want to do anything. You never want to go anywhere. If I say let's go out, I don't want to go. If I say let's do this, you wonder. Sometimes you see Oyibo people, Oyibo married couple, they are always engaging in. They go out together. They even shopping. Things as ordinary as shopping. You think shopping is ordinary, right? I'm telling you guys. As mundane as shopping is, pay we dey go supermarket, we are going to Asda or Tesco to go and buy groceries. Husband and wife come dey follow each other for nyash. It's not about the groceries or that one person cannot get it to. It's about, working together. That feeling that you get that you are doing something with your spouse is about spending time together. And you go see all these Oyibo people when they start doing these things, they will take their time. Oh, they won't be in a rush. They will go around the shop, small, small, they go dey waka. You go to see them. You go to see them, they go dey waka. You go just enter shop, you go dey wonder, say, Abigail husband though, why e be say na only me dey here? If you mention unto your husband that let's go to shop together, you go say, go now. Go now, I'm busy. Go now. Let's do it together. Go now. Let's travel together. No, now. The most important one that we are talking about tonight. Why are you people laughing? People are laughing. Mrs. Raymond, people are laughing. I don't know why people are laughing. A lot of people are laughing. Why are you people laughing? This is very serious matter. People said that they sent it to their husband. I sent my husband too, even though we live together, the loneliness is real. God bless you. Bury space. No, this is real. It's very rare because we need to call you. Affect when you see Akiyesi, we want to call you to remembrance. We want to remind you in case you forgot. So let me just play the video very quickly. Then I have guests here that are going to talk. And I'm sharing my link immediately because this is not a joke. Oh. Honestly, it's not a joke because some people are angry. Some people are vexing seriously. All right. So let me play the video for you so that you will see what we are talking about. This is the video I shared on all my social media platforms today. I said that we are calling out all Nigerian husbands. Men, husbands. Dear Nigerian men, husbands. Wives want to go out too. Why is it that when you are toasting us, you're asking us out, you say you love us, you want to marry us, you take us out, you give us a good time, take us to places. But once married, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15 years, 18, 20, it seems like 25. The romance in most marriages is dead. Romance. Wife wants romance too. We want to go out. We want to have a good time. And we don't just want to go out with our friends. We don't always want to go to church or weddings or parties. We just want to hang out with you. Our husbands, please take time to take us out. On behalf of all Nigerian wives, I'm appealing to you. I'm begging you. As you are watching this weekend, next weekend, make time. Take your wife out. That $100, that £100 you're going to spend on an evening, having a good time, showing your wife a good time, taking her to dinner, taking her to the cinema, taking her for bowling, just the two of you, not even a family affair. It will be good. It will help her well-being. It will bring back some romance in your relationship. She'll feel good about herself. You'll sit down on the dinner table and face one another and talk. She'll feel like, oh, he still loves me. He's still checking me out. It will give us an opportunity to dress up. Please take your wives out today. Spend a little bit of coins to make sure that you are dating again. Or you both call it date night. Date night.
And to be, you're shaking the table.
Date night. That's what a lot of people said today. They said I'm shaking the table.
Some people
said in Nigeria they prefer to take their girlfriends out.
This is true. Obodo good evening.
I'm shaking the table. I want to break the table tonight.
You're shaking the table.
Let me tell you something, Cynthia. Do you know it's as bad as I saw a comment today that really I was scared. Somebody on that video on YouTube said that she has decided to stay single because she wants romance. Let me look for it. There are so many comments. Let me look for that comment so that you will see that I'm not even making this up. Hmm? This is
Wow.
serious. Hey, this is it. Her name is Nicole Lashon. She said, I love to be romanced. That's why I'm no longer interested in marriage.
Wow.
Can you see
Hmm.
this is a
Wow.
real thing?
Mm-hmm.
No, this is a real thing, guys. It's not a joke. Okay, let me come to you first. Brownie in Nigeria that is joining us.
Hold on.
Somebody on Instagram said that if why can't women take their husbands out, wives? And you responded to that. They even if you want to take them out, some of them they won't make the time.
Mm. My sister, what can I say? Good evening, Obodo Farm. You see, Nigerian men. Hmm, what I see when they get married to you, they will promise you heaven, promise you earth. They will take you to the moon. They will bring you back. But maybe once you are 5 years, 10 years, 11 years in the marriage, you are just a piece of furniture in the house. They don't even care about you. I'm telling you, once you have children, they move their attention to the children. Let me say, shift their attention to the children. They take care of the children, they provide for you, but nothing for you. You are just there. They don't care about you. They will provide food, they provide everything for you, but there's no spark in the marriage anymore. There's no love, there's no nothing. In fact, they prefer to take you to the church. They prefer to take you to
Wow.
church because the time I share, let me use myself because if I tell my husband, let's go out, he will tell me, okay, dress up, I'll come. I never see him
What?
till till midnight. He will not come.
Hmm.
What?
He will tell me, I'm coming, I'm coming. He's busy. If he comes to the house, he will change to another shirt, to another trouser. He's going out. As he's coming, he's going out. I'm sitting here. He's coming. As I'm sitting here, we enter the house. We just say hello. We'll go to the room, change his shirt. He's out. No going,
So
no
what
coming.
what we're finding is that in a lot of marriages, and let me tell you something, this is serious. And for those of you who have husbands, and this is not everybody, oh, please. I want you guys to get that straight. We're not saying all African men, all Nigerian men are like this. Okay. Obviously, people are different. So we cannot put everybody in one category and say everybody is not romantic or everybody is not spending time with their
That's
wives,
true. That's true.
right?
That's true.
But
Mm,
majority from the response are saying, hmm?
mm,
So the majority is what we are talking about. So if your own husband is doing
okay.
everything good for you, I'm happy for you. I celebrate you.
Mm,
We
mm,
that have a grievance, allow us to air our grievance. Thank you very much.
okay.
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 Mhm.
Mm,
So you say for most of these men that we're talking about, most of this marriage, they feel like once you are married, you become a piece of furniture. But you are the
mm-hmm,
same girl that was married now, that was romanced,
mm-hmm,
that you travel together, you did things together. Why is it that when you become a wife now, so you can't go anywhere again, you don't go out? And somebody put a comment in the YouTube video today and said, I'm tired of eating my food. Every time it's me that is cooking and eating. I want to go out
mm-hmm.
for once. Let me sit down and eat food that was cooked by another person. That's a real thing as well. Hmm? That's a real thing. Beauty
Now let
by
me
Lalisha said, Auntie B, this is a topic that's been on mind for days. Chai, I thank you for bringing it up because of the loneliness is real. Okay. Go ahead, Brownie. You were saying
you
something.
see. As regard that one, the one you just said that I want to go out and eat, they feel because you can cook, you should eat your own food. Sometimes if you say I want to go out, even after church, you said, okay, can we just go out without going to the house to cook? Can we just eat outside? They said, why? When you can cook everything in the house, should we go spend the money outside? We can cook. Why don't you just cook and let's eat in the house? Hmm?
Somebody said something on Instagram today and said that, why is it husbands that will take wives out? Why can't the wives take out too? And I was having a back and forth with that person saying, see, it's you that came to marry me. It's you that came to toro me in my father's house to say, I want to marry you, I love you. It's not me that went to toro you. It's not me that paid your bride price. You are the leader, you are the man. So you lead. And part of leadership is that you set, you set examples. So and I'm not saying that And I'm not saying that women shouldn't take men out, but if I have to initiate it all the time, then it's not
It's not
romantic for me
romantic.
again.
Yeah,
It's
Mm,
not.
no.
Cynthia,
it's
you
not
know what I'm
romantic.
saying?
Yeah, it's not.
It means you are
Go
forcing
ahead.
it. You are forcing it to happen. You are
That
forcing
means
it.
Yeah.
I'm the one doing it.
Mm.
I'm romancing myself,
Yeah,
basically.
I think to be it's important that sometimes as the women, because I feel like men are very they have tunnel vision. They're focused on work, they're focused on other things, and 100% I think romance kind of falls at the wayside for them. I think obviously if you're trying to be intentional as the woman in the relationship, if you plant the seed and you like make the suggestion, I feel like if the man or your husband or your boyfriend is attentive, they should be able to pick that up and say, you know what, let me make the time. I don't think a lot of guys are good. Like my partner, he's not good at planning things. So he always tells me from the beginning, he's like, babe, I'm not good at planning things. Whatever you want to do, just let me know, and then we can schedule it in and book it in. Do you understand? Some men will tell you they have their shortcomings, but I feel like if a man is just if you are dropping hints, dropping bombs, and they're still not getting it, I think that's just I don't know. I think there's something a bit more deeper going on because any husband or partner would want to make their other
If
half be happy, So
when you are dating, I mean, your partner now, he
yeah,
said he's not good at, you are better at scheduling
uh,
things. Fine. Yeah. Women are more
yeah,
organized. We can
yeah.
multitask and all that. Yeah. Good. But when he was asking you out, was he not doing it? Was
He,
it you that
I
was
think
scheduling your outing and
no,
the things that you need
exactly.
to do? So they
Yeah,
can.
they can do it. I always tell him, I'm like, babe, you can do it. Because when you met me, you was toasting me, you was taking me out, you was saying, let's go here, let's go there. But I think I just feel like once they get in the relationship, they become so comfortable and they just start focusing on other things. But I thank God, at least for now, I'm still putting the battery in his back and he's still taking hints, and I like it like that. I'm just intentional and we just schedule in like dates or we scheduling things. He's really busy, I'm really busy, but we make it a priority. I think that's the main thing. You both have to make it a priority
Yeah.
to do
So
it. Yeah.
yeah, a drive through my city said my then Igbo husband prefers going out with his friends every weekend or holidays than spending time with me, his very attractive wife. So I'm coming to you, Brownie. So that's
Hmm.
some. It's not like they're not going out. Some husbands do go out, but they prefer to go out with their friends. That's what this lady is saying now. Why is it preferable for them to go out with their friends than with their wives? Is it that wives don't like excitement? Wives don't like fun?
You know why?
Or maybe
Can I
maybe
come
they
in?
feel that the
Okay.
yeah, come in. Hmm.
When I met my partner, he would take me out. I was very young and was very pretty. He would take
You're
me
still young,
out
you're still
because
You're still
pretty.
pretty. What are you talking
Sorry,
about?
because
you're still
uh
pretty.
because he would want to show me off. He would show me off to his friends. We would go
You're
out.
still very pretty. What are you talking about? Hmm.
We would go out
He was showing you
every
off then as his handbag.
yes, that's what I believe. Because he would take me
Okay.
everywhere. We say meet my wife, meet my wife, meet my wife. But all of a sudden that went down. And I noticed that sometimes I would say, can we go out? You want to go out? I'm kind of very busy. I'll come back. So many excuses. And I discovered that he liked to spend his time with his friends. Then why? Why can't I be in the midst of his friends? You know why? Because
Right.
all those friends, what I believe, I'm not saying it's for
Mm.
every man, but what
Yeah.
I believe is that those men, they come with their girlfriends. So I will be a
Ah,
problem. Yes.
that's a good
If I
Mm.
point.
and I know their
That's
wives.
a
If
really
I
good
go with
point.
him,
You
uh-huh,
find
if I
out what they've been up to and you might tell their wife.
so I'm a
That's
threat.
true.
Okay.
I'm a threat. No, I'm a threat. I'm not
I see what you
saying he
mean.
does.
You have a good point here.
Uh-huh.
You have
I'm
a
not
very
saying
good
he
point,
doesn't
but it's
have a
not all
girlfriend.
men.
Uh-huh.
It's not all
So
men that cheat.
I discovered that I was a threat to the relationship, even a
Right.
threat to his friends because they know I know their wives. So it's a problem.
Ah,
So now I'm out of the picture. So if I,
all
I want to
right.
go out,
50 Shades said, just before I broke up with my ex, I opened my wardrobe and showed him all the clothes and shoes that still had their price tags on. I love to dress up and go out, even when I choose to take us out. Hmm. So that relationship has hit the rock now. I want to believe because he said shortly before you broke up. You raised a very, very good point there. Oh. Brownie. So because you are in Nigeria, and of course, Nigeria, we know how it is with a lot of men. They cheat openly. Okay, Obodoyibo men, not like all of them are faithful, but I think there's a bit more discretion on the part of Nigerian men here because they know the deal. But if you try any nonsense, you can find
You're
your
gonna.
bags outside tomorrow, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they are not taking you out because those other friends have their girlfriend, and he might also have his girlfriend too. Let's be honest.
Of
Okay.
course.
Like
Of
somebody
course.
said, they prefer to take their girlfriends out. So why should just become furniture and stay at home? But it brings loneliness. This is where I'm going to. Uncle Ade, welcome, sir. There's a lot. Loneliness
Thank you,
is
Sister
real
D.
with married people,
Depression.
especially women.
Depression. Depression.
Welcome, sir.
Hey, Sister B,
Welcome.
how are you?
I'm fine, Uncle Ade. Nice to
Okay,
see
I'm
you.
glad to see you. Wow, you're looking good, sister. God bless you.
Thank you, sir.
All right. For me, what I want to contribute to, and it's a very good touching point, and you know, I spoke about it before, that why is it that Nigerian men are not romantic? I think it boils down to our culture, to where we grew up. Because when you look at our parents, there's no signs of romantic about them.
I was
And
gonna
a
say
lot
that.
of
That's
men
true.
that
Uncle
we,
Ade,
yes,
our parents didn't know how to use mobile phone. Our parents didn't know how to use computer. How
but
did we learn it?
I'm saying it is to the fact. Let's look our origin. We can't talk anything abstract because, but like you said, changes come within. Like for me, I'm saying this to be the reality of me. Like I'm not saying I'm an expert in that, but I'm married to a different person from a different part of the world. That allows me to see what it means by romantic. Because romantic itself is not just taking out your wife. Please don't. It's about me surprising my wife with flowers. Are you getting my point? It's about doing certain things.
Brownie,
That
have you ever gotten flowers?
no. No, Sister B, why are you laughing now?
Oh
No, this
my!
is
Because
serious.
you brought flowers.
Yes.
When you bring flowers, flower for
It's
me,
only my
flowers
bouquet,
is
wedding bouquet.
Oh
and your
wow.
wedding bouquet was artificial flowers, not real flowers anyway.
I'm just
So we know
telling you,
that.
only that one, even.
Flowers has some cultural,
Yes.
and aspect to it.
Significance.
So
Yeah,
I'm not even going to hold
absolutely.
anybody, up
Yeah.
to that.
But what I brought that subject is like, you see, the romantic itself, we have to put it together because especially we that live in diaspora. And that's what it is, because we don't, it's not only going out with friends, but for me, like with my wife, and I realize it, I take her to, like we call Broadway show, which is called like a live. We goes to the theater, we goes to the movie, we goes to,
That's it.
sometimes that's the way
Even take
we
a walk
look at
together.
ourselves. You understand
Hey,
what I'm saying?
even a walk.
But
Oh,
I feel
God
like
Even a
bless
I
walk
feel
you.
like
together.
Yes,
yeah, I feel like
Even
Even
a
a
walk,
walk
I feel
any
like
together.
time
sometimes
that
it's
you spend
yeah,
together is
yes. You see,
no. Uncle Ade, we
yeah.
are talking seriously now because people think it's something that is just ordinary. Why are we forcing? But these
yeah,
are the things that lead
it
to
is. To
resentment,
depression.
loneliness, and
Yes.
eventually divorce
Depression. Yes,
in
it does.
marriages.
Because
It
you
leads
see
to
what I
divorce.
do as a man, and I'm grateful to God, and I will say it loud and clear. God bless me with my wife, and I always tell everyone, because right now we work hard together at the gym 3 days a week. We does
Ooh.
everything. We does everything together, in the sense
That's
that if
awesome.
she goes into a business, she has to include me. If I go into anything, she has to include me. Even though
Uncle
I
Ade,
may
let
not
me
be.
ask you: did you feel like you have to show up like this because you married a non-Nigerian, or
I,
has that always been you, or did she teach you
no,
how to love her like this?
you know what? She teach me some. And I, as a Nigerian, when I look back, that what is it? How can I change? And how can I create another generations so that they don't fall into the same generation that
Victims.
I came from? I individually changed myself, Sister B.
Yeah.
I
So you worked
changed.
Yeah.
on yourself. You
Yes,
worked on
I changed.
yourself.
Yes, I taught myself and I disciplined myself and I changed for another generation, because I said, no, I'm not going to, because all my friends who are in the 6th and 8th mates that are from Nigeria, they're doing the same thing. Their wives are lonely to the
Very
point that
lonely.
Yes,
Very lonely. Very
I'm
lonely.
now trying to form a group whereby I can bring all these men together and say, look, what you are doing, you are damaging your wife, you are damaging the job.
She's
Because
gonna divorce you. She will
yes,
divorce you.
guess what?
There's a limit to what a woman can take when
And
she's
I'm
lonely.
and I'm
She doesn't
honest
feel
Exactly.
saying,
she
Exactly.
doesn't feel
Mm-hmm.
loved. She doesn't feel
Feel
appreciated. She
wanted.
doesn't
Doesn't
feel
feel
yes,
noticed.
wanted.
She doesn't feel like you
Mm.
see her.
yes, that's
Uh-huh.
it.
Okay,
Yeah.
let me give you an example. I want to talk about this one. Okay, you talked about how your husband, your wife, told you this is how I want to be loved, and you also worked on yourself to love your wife the way she wants to be loved.
Yeah.
If you keep telling your husband repeatedly, I want you to do this. If I wear something, I want you to notice. If I do my hair, I want you to say something. But they are refusing to learn. They are refusing to see it as important. Let me give you my example is my own husband. He will just laugh and say, I don't need to say anything now. If I don't say anything, it means it's nice. It means it's
No,
okay.
no, that's not true. You have to verbally say it because like I tell you, and this is what I'm
Uncle
experiencing
Ade,
with
I'm
my
sorry,
friends.
sir. It's like saying I love
Yes,
you.
yes.
It's like telling somebody I love you, but I don't need to tell
Sister
you.
B,
You should
let me
know
put
that
it
I
this
love
way
you.
to you. Let me put it this way to you, to be honest with you. And let's talk the fact. Do you see any Nigerian holding their wife on the street? Do you see any
They hold
Nigerian
Oyibo.
holding
When they marry
their
Oyibo,
wife
they hold
Yeah.
hand.
ahead? Do you see
Yeah.
their wife even kissing their wife on the street? It's like a
Mm-hmm.
taboo.
Mm.
It's like a taboo. And this is your wife that you live with day in, day out.
Even
Don't
if you are trying
because
to,
I don't
even
know
if you are
in our
trying
way
to
in
be
that I don't know
romantic,
if
they
it
will tell
is.
you, calm down, we are on the street, we're
Yes,
outside, we're
exactly.
outside.
You go to the movie, or you can't even allow your wife to sit close to you, to sit tight, to huggle up. It's like a taboo. It's like, oh, no, that should be for the house, or that should be for the bedroom. So there's a
I
lot.
think that I think women need to a lot of women need to do the teaching. I feel like that's the problem, but I feel like a lot of maybe I don't know if it's a generational thing. I feel like guys now, because my partner, he's 40, 45, I'd say, and it's not something that he's used to, but the more I speak out and the more he makes an effort. I feel like we need to train the men as well. Sometimes you need to show the
It's not
person how you want to be loved.
it's not everybody
I
that
think,
is trainable, Cynthia.
Yes,
Trust me, I've
exactly.
oh
tried.
yeah,
The age.
I'm
it's true.
speaking from experience. I have tried.
Mm.
I have
Mm.
tried. It's
Oh,
not
Mm.
working.
And,
I've tried.
and Sister B, my concern is especially with the diaspora, especially my generation, is like we are losing our women to the point that
mm,
the women, the only thing that have is our children. And I see it among my people. When you see a woman that she's lonely, all she does is like, she needs in this is her children. And guess what? The children that were born in diaspora, they are not like us. They are moving out.
But is it even right? Let me ask you, Nkwade, when women are leaning to their children for emotional satisfaction, is it right?
it's
It's not. It's not. It's not.
All right.
It's wrong
It's
because
all
they're
right.
alternative. Because number
Because you're
one,
not supposed to be getting your emotional satisfaction from your children.
from
Children
children.
grow up and they
yeah,
leave.
Exactly. That's
yeah.
the fact. But the woman does not have any alternative. They do not, because they look. That's the problem I'm talking about. Because I spoke to a friend of mine. She's a woman. What she's talking, because me and my wife, our children grow up. They are doing excellent in their own capacity, but they're moving out. One is in Florida. One is moving everywhere. For us, we look at an opportunity for us to travel out and see different part of America. But to her, it's like the children are neglecting her because the children are moving away. And I told her, I said, no, your issue is with your husband, not with the children. You need to work on your relationship because those children are born to grow to fly. That's what we tell them, right?
Yeah,
And they
yeah.
fly.
At
Now
that
you want
stage, it's too
and then you
late.
They will
want to
always
cut
I
leave.
feel
their
like
They will always leave.
yes, and
yeah,
you
I feel
want to
like
cut
at
their
that stage
wing.
it's too late.
Yes,
Yeah.
and then you want to cut their wing not to fly, but you always
Who
tell them,
left
"Oh,
now?
you
We were
can fly."
children once upon a time, but we've left our parents.
And then we
So
left our
children cannot be
parents.
with you
Exactly.
forever.
Exactly.
The children
But
will always
now to
leave.
them is like the only thing they hold on to is the children. They're using the children. And this is, and what I'm seeing it too is that the women, a lot of diaspora women too, and like what my sister said, I think they need to come out and verbally say it in the body because even the church is not encouraging that. The church is not encouraging that because when you're in especially the Nigerian churches here, does not encourage where a husband spend time, what they call a valuable time together. They don't.
Quality time.
Or
Quality
quality
time.
time. They don't.
Bridget David, Bridget David, thank you very much, Uncle Ade. I want this to be like, let's have a general conversation, and thank you so much for all my contributors. Bridget David said some of our Nigerian men who get married to white ladies, they do romance with them. But when they can't do this, why can't they do the same with their Nigerian wives? That's the question. Adewale, unmute yourself, please. Maybe I know you are not married, you're a young person, but maybe you have some insight. You usually do have some really, really deep
Mm.
insights. Why can't they do
Um,
the same thing?
I think it's because our society does not like encourage us having balanced relationships with our friends and
Mm.
our partners. Like, um, men, when women go on girls' trip where it's just women without the husband and the children. Guys also like to do that sometimes, but in our
Mhm.
society, that takes priority over their families. So in our society, you see men going to bars, they will drink up to like 11 p.m. at night, and their wife and children are waiting at home. That's not supposed to be so. There's supposed to be like a balance between, because although we're in relationships, you also need to have time with with your friends as well. But there needs to be a balance there. You can't be going out with your friends like almost all the time, and your
And
wife
some
and your
and some people, this is their lifestyle. Once they go to
exactly.
work,
Some people
the
like
only
a
free
lot of
time they have is with friends.
exactly a lot of men in Nigeria have that lifestyle where they spend most of their time with their friends
With their
than their
boys.
wives and
Yeah.
children. So even they don't really know the school the children are going to. They don't even know what class the children is in. They don't even know if that child, like
Yep.
their son or their
Even
daughter, passed an exam. They don't know things that their kids like. They don't know
even
what the wife
birthdays.
likes. They don't know anything. So they do the whole romantic thing at the chasing stage where, okay, now I have her now. What am I supposed? We like there is no, how do I say, there is no relationship in the marriage. It's just, oh, you're my wife, you're my husband, you take
Just
care of
stay
the
there
family.
because you know that I will always meet you at home. When I go
Exactly,
and
I'll
come,
always
you will
meet you at
always
home.
be there.
Exactly, you're always going to be there. When I
It's
come
true.
home, you serve me my food, I sit down,
Mm,
I eat. The next day after work, I just go out with my friends.
mm.
So
Hmm.
even like romance, even in our culture, like I don't know, even in Yoruba culture, I don't know if there's even like a word for romance.
Exactly.
Mm.
That's
There's
it.
no word. There's no word.
No, it's
There's no
respect.
word for that.
Respect. Respect.
It's respect that's the most important thing.
Mm-hmm.
Romance is not even in our
But
dictionary. I
there's
think,
there's word for love, Ife.
but like if
Is
like
romance not part
romance,
of love?
No,
Expressing your love for
no,
someone?
no, no.
Is
no,
They're two
it's
different
not.
things. They're two
hmm?
different things.
No,
Respect
no.
is
What I'm saying
respect.
is that I'm not saying that there's a word for romance. What I'm saying is that is part of loving someone not expressing your love to them by romancing them. Isn't that how it should be?
No, I don't think so. I
Hmm?
not in the Yoruba culture sense, like when we think of romance, like going out with your wife, spending time, going to movies, or just taking a walk in the park, all those things, those like relationship things couples do. Like,
Somebody is speaking very brutally here. He said, Egosa is saying, well, honestly speaking, he may have just lost attraction in you. You may not just be exciting to hang out with.
So why do you marry her?
but I think it's something you can always work on. Like, I mean, I'm not saying that you should always be going out with your wife, but they there needs to be a balance. There needs to be a balance.
Can I tell you something, Adewale? The reason why a lot of married women cheat, yes, and you can quote this and take it to the Bank of England and cash it if you want to. The reason why a lot of married women cheat is because of lack of emotional satisfaction in the marriage.
Mm.
Not because of finance, not because of any other thing. It's lack of emotional. If husbands realize how important it is for wives to feel emotionally satisfied, that attachment, that, oh, my husband, we are doing things together, we're spending time together, you know, then they will take it serious. Emotional satisfaction is so important to women, and I'm struggling to understand why our men cannot understand it. Why?
Okay, Sister, I think what happens to us is like we men that are coming to diaspora, I mean, I hate to say it, we are being engineered to one aspect of, for one side only. That does not only that not give this much appreciation to the women the way they're supposed to be. Because like what you're saying today, you can find out in Nigeria today, some women will not agree with you because they want to be the certain thing. But a lot of time is like when you are in a relationship comes to life when you guys share things in common, when you guys share quality times together and valuable time together, even to the point of your children. Raising children, especially we in diaspora, it is he has to be a partnership working
What's
together.
the point of being married, Uncle Ade? What is
The,
the point of being married if you feel like you are single in the marriage?
But the point I'm talking about is like you're absolutely right. That what is the point? The thing is that the men, I don't know what it would take for them to change. And I don't know what it would take or how then will they react to it. Because I'm saying is we, especially we that are living in diaspora, we have neglected our own obligation of a romantic relationship. We have neglected a lot of it because to us it's like being romantic is like a I would call it is like we're showing our weakness because when
That's
you
true.
can yes we
Yeah, I
yes
agree.
it's like women when we show it's like we're showing our weakness to the
And
woman and
Adewale, do you agree with what Uncle Ade is saying? Pe? Some men feel like when they are romantic, it means that they are weak.
I don't know if it's weakness, but I think maybe like let's say for example, if your family, maybe your the in-laws come to the house and then they see the husband cooking for the wife,
yeah
they would say "Oti fun lefo je," something
What
like
is
that.
Jeffo?
Because
What is Jeffo?
exactly,
yeah
but
exactly
I don't know if it's showing weakness. I just think that in our culture we don't see romance as part of a
Enough.
relationship.
enough
Yeah, I agree.
We
yeah
I
don't
agree.
see it. We get married most of the time to continue the bloodline. It's not
okay
really
Absolutely.
sister
it's
B,
not
I
really
get it
for companionship.
yeah
It's not
Yeah,
really
you're talking traditionally now, but we're talking about 2022. People who live in the
exactly
diaspora, Adewale. We're not talking about 1960. This
but
is 2022.
a
That's
lot
why I
of
made that. That's why I made that analysis and compared it to our parents. What Uncle Ade was saying, they didn't understand computer. They didn't. They never even had internet or computer, iPhone. But everybody's using it now. If you can learn to adapt to modern society,
you
why
should be
can't
able
you
to change
learn
to
to
change
change
yeah
and meet your woman, your wife, at
at a
the point of
middle
her
Halfway.
point.
need?
Yes, at
Yeah.
the middle, at least even admitting her at a middle point. We're not telling
Yeah.
you to 100% outdo yourself. That's not what we're asking. At least meet her at a middle point. But
Then I agree with the comment that the person left. I do feel like a lot of couples when they initially get together, maybe there isn't that friendship, like a strong enough foundation in the beginning, so that when other things come into play, like kids, bills, and when you get older, there's no more the relatability between each other. So I feel like it's hard for that romance to be there once it's kind of disappeared. That's my perception. Because I feel like if your husband is really, if he wants the best for his family, and if your wife is, they say happy wife, happy home, right? So if every man is working on that premises, then it's like if your wife is screaming, shouting, she's lacking something from you and you are refusing to do it, then it's not that you don't know, it's that you're choosing not to do it. And there's a
And I,
problem there. And
Can
there's a
I add to
problem there.
that by
Yeah.
saying, Cynthia, thank you, you are so right. Can I add to that by saying that, do you actually know that some people is because they don't want to spend that money? They
Really?
don't want to spend that $50, £50, £100, whatever it takes to go out because to them, oh yeah, I know people like that.
that's
Oh,
true.
Auntie B, I don't,
Yeah, they will
really?
never spend a dime to take their wives or their families. Do you know? I mean, sometimes when I have this conversation with my husband, I'm like, arrange something. Like, oh, arrange it now. Don't worry. Just arrange it. I say, no, I don't want to arrange it. I arrange it all the time. You arrange it. He's like, arrange it. It's not even about pain. Women don't mind pain. But the
Mm.
joy for us is that you think about us
You are
long.
valued. You are
You
valued and appreciated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
help me to explain it. The joy for most women is the fact that you think about us well enough to think that, okay, let me take my wife out today. Let me do something
Yeah.
like this. Even
Mm-hmm.
if you get there, you say, babe, it's like, do you have your purse? We'll pay gladly
Yeah, I
because
think it's just it's the thought. It's the thought that counts. Yeah.
It's the
It's
thought.
not really.
Definitely,
It's not even
Yeah.
really about
It's
like. It's
it's
not
not
really
it's
about
a,
about
going to
to
romantic
me,
restaurants
to
and
me
content.
personally, it's not even about doing. I love doing bougie restaurant. I love doing vacation and all this kind of nice grand gestures. But for me, it's the smallest thing that I appreciate. Just because my love language is acts of service, so
Yeah.
this it's the smallest thing that my partner does that makes my life that little bit easier and shows him that he's thought about me. That I absolutely love. I
Yeah.
love it. So I feel like it's the thoughtfulness and then following it up with action and also the element of surprise. I don't want to do a surprise for it's like throwing myself a surprise party. How can I be
exactly,
surprised? I
exactly.
mean, it loses the what's it like the feeling, the excitement. I mean, you can't surprise yourself. So you need somebody to surprise you. Do you understand? So I feel like men, the African men, some of them they need to work on it. Definitely, it's the element of surprise is what women are crying
If
out
we
for.
have to arrange it, then it doesn't count. It
It's not the
doesn't.
same,
Yeah,
yeah.
it
It
doesn't
doesn't
count.
count.
Yeah, because
And I want to, Uncle Ade, before I come to you, thank you very much, sir. Adewale, I appreciate you. Ruth said, it's not until she leaves, then they know.
yeah,
There's a comment in that video that I
Hey,
want to share
you're
with you guys.
you're shaking the table, Ruth.
Oh,
This is
yeah.
fact.
Let me show
Fact.
you a comment. It's a man
It's
that left
fact.
that so
Mm.
that other men, our brothers, our uncles and aunties that are watching can learn. Because I know some of you, maybe you don't know. So information is being given to you today to let you know. And this is what this person is saying. They are basically telling us that they lost their wife because they didn't care enough to do that. Let me look for that comment. And the guy was saying, I am still begging to see she can take me back. This was me. I didn't do
Hmm.
what I was supposed to do. And I was
no,
like, wow.
no,
I was like, wow.
yeah,
And I
So
say something.
say something.
You know, you see, they will the blacks, let's say Africans, or let's say the men, we say they will always say it's our culture. Then why is it that when an older man find love in a younger girl, they are romantic?
I think it's excitement. It's excitement, though.
Ned won't go.
Why are they romantic? You see them jumping up and down, carry baby. See them even holding hands in the street.
yeah.
So it's not our culture, but you can be romantic
It's
to a
a
younger woman.
culture.
Well,
Mhm.
I agree with you. It's
Uh,
sometimes it's not because it's an
I've
individual
been,
thing.
I've been
Yeah,
thinking.
it is. It is. Because I've seen a lot of Nigerian men on social media being romantic,
Uh,
and it's like it's. I think Nigerian men can be romantic if they choose to. It's
God bless
just like
you. God
they
bless you.
they just don't want to do it because they don't feel that it's a necessity. Like she's always at
Once they're
home now.
married. Mm.
Once you get married, it's like, oh, now she's just at home. So when I come back, she's always there.
It's always
So that's
there.
not important. So I think until we start like seeing romance as part of relationships, like not just relationships, like marriage, it has to be there. Like you need to have time for your wife. It's not that hard. I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't know. It's not.
yeah.
You don't
I've
like you don't have to take her to the restaurant or any just even walking at the park and just listening to her talk. Sometimes it's just enough.
little things. It's the little
That's
things
little
that
It's
things.
little
count.
things. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Cynthia said, it's just for me to know
Yeah.
that you care
Yeah,
enough to think about doing something nice for me today. So I found the comment I was looking for. It was left by Tayo Ade 6 hours ago. Tayo Ade said, 100% truth. Auntie B, this short message is a powerful word that for those that can rekindle their love life. My nonchalant attitude has cost me my home. Though we are not divorced, but we are separated. I hope one day she gives me a second chance to make things right.
yeah,
But it's like,
That's a
why do you
man.
have to let it get that? Why do you have to let it get that far?
Yeah.
You know, why did I have to let it get that far?
Yeah, that's the point.
I don't
You see what I'm
understand. Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. Because one thing I want to say too is that men, we don't, it's like in our brain, we don't read the moment, or we don't focus so much on anything that we see around us that's giving us, we don't I think women are quickly gifted to connect the dots. But men, we don't connect the dots, because you will find all these things that you say, even what a man is not doing in the house, or what a man is not neglecting to give to his wife, is you will see it's been going on for a while, because before it gets to a critical point of let them going into separate way. It doesn't just happen overnight. But we so much that we think we take, it's like men, a lot of time men takes everything for granted. We assume she's gonna be there no matter what. So let me just do
She
what I'm
can go. She can leave. She can go.
let me just do what I'm doing. She's gonna be there until because nothing that happens in life that happens just by a trickle of a second. It comes, especially in a relationship, it graduates into a point where it comes to a point where everybody goes their separate way. I have a friend that they're doing the same thing right now. And all I'm preaching to her is like, because she feels like she's alone. And it is true. Her husband never takes her out. They never go anywhere together. She just went on a vacation to Europe. She went by herself. How can my wife go on Europe on vacation by herself? Even let's say she goes with a group. Don't
Yeah.
I supposed to be in that?
Yeah. Somebody actually left a comment on that same video and said, you know what? Only 3 years of marriage, he said, I'm frustrated and I'm going to take myself on vacation because my husband is just not, he's not interested.
Yes.
So, I mean, I'm glad that men are speaking about it, because someone like Brother Patrick Nwonko is saying here that a lot of Nigerian men that knows the value of being romantic, they are changing their perspective these days. Gone are the days when, as a man, you would think that providing for the home alone is enough.
No, it's not. Thank you, brother. That's a good fact too, because all we think about is giving my wife all she needs, and it's not enough. I just came back from with my wife to Iceland, Sister B. My wife decided we should go, and I said, okay, we should go. And listen, I now realize my backyard is not my backyard. The world is so big for us to explore and
enjoy.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, let me say it again. Enjoy. That is the word. A lot of wives are feeling, we are feeling like we are not enjoying, because all we do is care, we clean, we cook, we
Oh,
shop, we
why
do
is my
all these
phone
things.
heating up?
Yeah, when I climbed the glacier mountain with my wife, trying to fall down on the glacier mountain, holding her, Sister B, it's just an expression of gratitude. It's an expression that yes, this is somebody that you, and then the thing is that we always sit back as we like your platform is for us to change the generation if we want ourselves to survive in diaspora. Because what we're seeing is that a lot of people are separating from each other.
They won't take it. Uncle, and then people will not take it much longer. Let me tell you that. Because it gets to a point, and then we complain about women spending all their time, is their children. They replace their husbands with their children. They are going to church fanatically. It's because there's something missing. That you as a leader of the home, you as a husband, is not providing. You are the man. You are supposed to lead. And you lead by example. A lot of women, if you even come to them, and I'm not saying it's all women, oh, babe, I'm planning this trip. I want us to go somewhere. You give them the idea, but I haven't got the funds for it. They will be happily contribute to it, and you will say, oh, don't worry. Use my credit card to do it. The fact that you even came up with the idea, you don't understand how it makes a woman feel like you are thinking about me. I matter to you. You want to spend time with me.
I tell you what, Sister B, I'm gonna say this loud and clear, and I thank you, Brother Ola is there. Women love surprises. There's no woman that don't like surprise. Women love surprises, and it makes them feel like they are appreciated in any angle or any aspect of life. And that's what the key thing that maybe a lot of men don't get that message and they feel like, oh, she's there. I don't need to surprise her. But surprising a woman, even for a little thing, that will make a mile or a million something in the life of a woman. So that's that. All right, I see my guys are here. So Sister B, let them maybe somebody else come in.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much,
Sister
Uncle
B.
Ade. I really
Thank you.
appreciate you, sir. God
Thank
bless
you,
you
Uncle
very much.
Ade. Keep up the
Thank
good work.
you. Thank you, sir. We always cherish you here. So I've got Tammy. I want Tammy to say something before I come to Bio. Tammy has been waiting. Thank you, darling. You're welcome.
Hi, Auntie B. Good evening.
Hello, how are you?
I'm very well, thank
That
you.
is our Tammy. Do you know who is speaking? Do you guys know who is speaking? That is our Tammy. Tammy with the testimony that pastor wanted to tontori, but God prevailed. It's
Amen.
so nice to see you back in the studio.
Good evening, everybody. So, my own perspective is I think the problem with African men not showing affection, it's because most of them didn't have like an example to learn from,
Mhm.
and they never see their parents, showing affection towards each other. And that has become like from generation to generation, it's now become like a cultural thing where uh when they are out and about, they find it like if the woman wants to maybe kiss the husband or hold their hands, it becomes like a problem, and people will be giving them funny kind of looks.
Mhm.
However, they can change. Anybody can change. And another thing, I think most women as well give excuses for their husband not showing affection. Some women would say, oh, it's because they are Nigerian men. That's who they are. They just generalize. But from my own experience, a Nigerian man can change if they want to make the effort.
And some Nigerian men are romantic as well,
Very
especially the younger
romantic.
Absolutely.
generation.
Yes,
Is this
because
older generation that we are struggling with?
yes, because from I myself, I'm married to a Yoruba man, and I always say I am married to my husband is a black man in a white man body. So for us, I think maybe our own marriages, because maybe we've both dated, other race in the past. I've dated a white guy, he's dated a white girl in the past.
So you understand what romance is to a
Yes,
relationship is the oil. It is the
yes.
oil that keeps the
It's
relationship
it's
alive.
very,
Otherwise, it
very,
would
yeah.
dry out.
It's very, very necessary. And for me personally, I'm a very affectionate person. I love to show affection. I love to be shown affection as well. And when I met my husband, these are the things that we sat and talked about. I want that candle to be burning continuously, because I get bored so easily.
Right.
So for my husband and I, we've been married just over 5 years now, but we still go out. A Yoruba man, we still go out shopping together, like food shopping, grocery. We go out. 5 years on, we still go out. He will push the trolley, I will pick the things. We go out shopping. We
Do you
still
know
go
how
for a
sexy it is? Do you know how sexy it is to go shopping with your husband? It's so no, it's just an ordinary activity, right? No big deal. You go to the supermarket and you pick up food, but it is not the activity, but the time
Time
yeah,
and
together.
having that close proximity,
yeah,
and it is something that is so romantic. I swear, it
yeah.
is.
So men can make a conscious effort. If you want your home to work, you
Tammy, let
have
me
to
give you
put
an
in the
example.
effort.
Sorry, Tammy.
Yeah.
Oh, God bless you. Let me give you an example. My husband and I used to go shopping. Do you know why we stopped?
Why?
When we enter the shop, hmm, I will pick up, or either I pick up the trolley or he will pick up the trolley. Before I will even stop to look at my husband is someone that's always in a hurry. That man, I don't know whether it's from Russia. He's always rushing. Before I will pick up, let me check this biscuit or check this. He's gone. He's gone. It's another aisle. I'll be looking for him. Where is he? Where is he? I thought we were shopping together. You will not know that we went to the shop together because he's gone. He's always rushing, rushing, rushing. I'm like, calm down now. It's supposed to be an experience. Let's just, what do you want to pick? Pick it now. Let's go now. Let's go now. It was stressful for me, so I stopped. I said, okay, I will just go by myself.
The men has to make the effort if they want, because with time, the women as well, like with the topic, the women get lonely as well, and somebody else out there can just show them little affection, and
That's the end of the home.
unconsciously, before they know it, they start having feelings for this person.
Let me
Absolutely.
ask Ola. I want to ask Ola this question. I pinned it for a reason. Truth said, can a security man who works 12 hours a day have time for romance?
It's
Ola,
about the. Mm.
you,
that
I'm
if
coming to
you
you because you are men.
12 hours a day is a lot, but it's not really that much. I don't know. As a man, in 12 hours a day, 5 days a week is 60 hours. You can still create time. See, whatever you value, you create time for it.
Absolutely.
Amen.
Right.
That's what I said.
So,
Amen.
Yeah.
You're
but
not working every
if you
day.
want me to manufacture excuses like you, me too, I can manufacture excuses. Oh, there are plenty.
Exactly.
So it's about what do you value. It's about what is it, why. I asked a question in the chat. I said why. I think Adewale was speaking. I said he said you can just do it. It's that simple. But if there is no strong why behind it, if you haven't really zone in on your why and make sure it makes sense to you, is valuable to you, you can always find excuses, even if you have all the time in the world, to not do things you don't want to do, even if it's that simple. So
Yeah.
it's easier said than done, because again, it goes back to this is romance we're talking about.
But you
And
know
it comes
something,
down.
like you rightly said. Yeah, sorry, Cynthia.
Correct.
When something is important to you, you will always find time for it.
You create time for it.
Always.
There's no
Yeah.
time. We already don't have time. We create time for
There's
things
no
we
time,
value.
but what is important to you, you create time for it. That's the truth.
That's the truth.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
you were saying something, Cynthia.
I was saying that it comes down to compromise as well, because sometimes some people, it's not in their personality to be overly affectionate. It's not in their personality to be very romantic. But I feel like if you're in a partnership and a marriage specifically, you need to be able to compromise. So it's not just maybe I need to be able to step out of my comfort zone to make you comfortable. Do you understand? So I feel like
Yeah.
that's also maybe an issue as well. So sometimes it could be the personality, it's a clash of personalities, but there has to be compromise, definitely.
Somebody said that, but they are romantic with their side chicks. Tell
This is
me,
true.
Bami.
It's true. But I'm to be, the reason. Do you know the reason for that? The reason for that is because when a lot of men, when they have side chicks and they go above and beyond for their side chicks, is because they get a validation from that person that they don't get from home. So it's like a different experience. That's the reason that those men go above and beyond, because maybe they're not getting that affection from home. They're not getting that peace of mind. They're not getting the different position in Kerewa and all these kind of things. So that it's a new exciting thing. That's why
No,
they go above and
the
beyond. Yeah.
reason why they go above and beyond for side chick is
Mm.
because they are chasing. Okay?
And that too, yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
They like the
it's
chase.
just because they are chasing, because men hunt and they are
Mm.
chasing. And it's important for them to make an impression with side chicks. The wife is conquered already. She's at home. She's not going
Yeah,
anywhere. She's got
that's
3, 4
true.
kids, 2 kids, whatever. She's not going anywhere. So he knows this. And that's why they take these wives for granted.
But I said it to you before in our group chat. I said side chicks are winning. They're getting the maximum enjoyment of wife benefits without the stresses of being a wife and lack of
Yeah.
attention,
Yeah.
which is unfortunate. It's crazy.
It's
But
driving, the sad part of it, Tammy, and
mm,
let me come back to you, my darling sis. The sad part of it is that this is driving a lot of women. I just posted that video today. I didn't expect the kind of reaction that I got. People were literally tagging their husbands.
oh
Come
gosh.
and see.
I
Sadly,
didn't
as trivial as we think it is, this is driving women to a place of sadness, loneliness, and depression. Yet they are married. That's how deep it's not a joke.
at
Yeah.
all.
I think also with some marriages, not all marriages, though, with some as well, the women, the minute they get married, they just relax and stop making effort as well. Whilst when most relationship, when you're in that dating phase, you see the woman dress nicely, give the man like really nice sexy hints and all of that. But once they are married and start having kids, you see the most women as well will just shift their attention away from the man and to the children. That
Mm.
also can be a problem.
Mhm.
So the
And then
woman
yeah,
as well needs to make a conscious effort. So if you're making an effort and the man is not reciprocating, then you know the problem is from the man and not from you.
Right.
Yeah.
So wives as well, we need to up our game, because these girls out there, they are looking sexy by the day, sexier by the day. So we too need to, some women at home, especially Nigerian women, you see them at home, they just tie wrapper
Take
in
off
the
your hair
chest
bonnet.
and they're not sexy no more. They're not no longer sexy, and men are moved with what they see.
Facts.
So is it because they are not sexy that they don't take them out? Because if you want me to look sexy, just
No, but
announce a
Auntie
date
B, you
night.
look sexy. You look sexy every time.
No.
I mean, I try to look sexy. I have the kind of shots that I
That's
have.
not your issue.
The kind of shots that I have, you don't want to know.
I'm not
The ones you see are not
generalizing.
short enough. I have shots that are shorts. I try. I'm 50 years old, but I try. But the point is that if you want me to even look sexy, take me on a date. It will give me an opportunity to dress up. I will go and do my hair if I haven't done my hair in a long time. I will. I'll wear perfume. I'll look good because I want to show up for you.
And I think like what Cynthia said about, you have to know your man and know your woman as well. She said something about she knows that a man she does the planning, but he will create the time. So if you know that your husband or your partner is that kind of man that he is not good at planning, you just do the planning and tell him, okay, can we go out on this day? Can we go on holiday? Can we go out on a date? Whatever. You do the planning, the man can pay for it, create the time, and you guys will go out and both of you will have a really good time. Because sometimes my husband and I, we can just drive because we live in Surrey, but there's an African shop somewhere in Kent where they sell fish and plantain. We would drive, it's like an hour 20 minutes from where we live. Sometimes we can just decide, you know what, I don't want to cook this evening, let's go and get fish and plantain. We would drive there, buy the fish and plantain, go and sit by the seaside and eat our plantain sitting on the floor.
That's because you are intentional about it.
Yeah.
If I tell my husband that we should go to drive 1 hour to go and get plantain, he will tell me he needs to study for the next Bible class. I know what I'm saying. No, I see the point that you are making, Tammy, but this is real. Honestly, it's about men not thinking that this is important to us, and we are shouting, we are literally screaming, I want it, I want it, I want it. Look, I know what I'm saying. No, I know what I'm saying, and I'm speaking from a place of experience. Because what is important to you guys, you make time for it. If my husband wants to travel to Bristol to go and preach, he will travel.
Make time.
He will make the time for it. So let me give you a very good example. My sister-in-law and her husband, they live here in the UK with us. They live in this country. And I'm saying this now because I know there are some people in my church that are watching this. I'll go and tell my husband, and I want him to hear. I want them to tell him. So he called me a few days ago and said, do I know that the in-law said, it's been a long time, we haven't seen, that we should hang out. I say, amazing. I'm very interested. He knows I'm always up for outing and things like that. I'm a very social person. And I was like, okay. He said, that my sister-in-law's husband said she will arrange it and everything. I said, good. I will go. Anyway, call me. I'm there. Yesterday, my husband came and said, that the sister-in-law's husband said that they've arranged a restaurant that we should come there, mention the place in London. He said, what do I think? I said, let's go now. He said, no, it's too far. You are laughing. He said, no, who is going to go to that one? It's too far. I said, it's too far. If it's to go to Bristol, Wales, and Scotland to go and preach, you don't say it's too far. This one is too far. I want to go. I made a lot of noise about it. I said, I'm going. We must go. It's not too far. It's important to me. I want to go. Somebody has made the effort to arrange dinner table and everything for me to dress up and wear my nice dresses that I have. I have so many nice dresses with label that I have not even removed the label, and wigs that I have not tried that I want to. You are telling me it's too far. I said, if we don't go, there will be war.
I'm laughing because I can relate. That's why. I can relate with Baba.
Really? Ola, are you on this table?
I'm on that table. I'm sorry. I'm very comfortable.
It's too far. What is far?
everything is fine as far as I'm concerned. But but
But
again, go ahead. You were saying?
but is it worth the stress? I mean, putting on your outfit, jumping in the car and going, is it worth the stress of a upset wife? I don't understand. Like it's
No,
good to
it's not
pick your
worth
battle.
it.
Pick your battle, you know?
Again, we need to shake this table better because everyone is on it. Ladies, you're on it too.
Ola, what are you saying?
Okay,
That
but
it's too far. How can somebody say it's too far when they've already arranged the dinner for us to go and have dinner? One day.
I
One
will,
day.
you talk of London. First of all, it's always
It's
raining.
within London. Yeah.
It's always raining in London. That's number one.
This is
Nobody
not,
wants to
it
But
go
doesn't
outside.
matter
it's
if it's
not
raining, we're in the
but
car. It doesn't matter.
they're in
We're
the
walking.
car.
Are
Come
we
on.
walking? We go to work. It's raining every day. We walk.
Hey, that's
We go
work
to work.
now. That's work now. There's
Ola,
value. Remember what I
that's
said
what
about
I'm
Ola,
value.
saying, you know. Let me tell you
Ola.
something. When in February, me I arranged a trip for us to go all the way to Paris. We went there. He enjoyed himself. Since then, I've been waiting for him to reciprocate.
Listen,
Nothing.
it's a couple of things. Okay, the first thing is what I mentioned earlier, the value. Sometimes we just can't see the value based off of now, right? See, me, I know. Okay, so me, I know from a place.
Ola, please,
Yes,
please, 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 please.
me ò ní sọ òyìnbó, I promise. Me ò ní
Please.
sọ òyìnbó too much.
Sorry, go to my way, but
No, I want you to
angry.
understand it. I
I
want you to
am
understand
angry,
it.
Moshe Wayi. What my husband wants us to do is for us to do prayer and night vigil and prayer and Bible study every day. Oti Sumi, I want to go out and have fun
Why does he want to do all those things? Why?
because he's a minister. But don't minister have fun? Can a minister not have fun?
Okay, so he's a minister. Why does he want to be a minister?
He's a minister. That's his calling now. Just like this is my calling.
Okay, but what is it that callings do to people? Like, what is it that people find? What value do people find in their callings?
In their preaching, I even told him, I said, preach prosperity. It's not even preaching prosperity, it's preaching salvation. Preacher.
It's something
All the
that he
holiness
does.
preachers. Like deeper life people that always preaching holiness and salvation.
Yeah, so it's something that that makes them feel safe. It's something that they would do effortlessly, even if they don't get paid for it.
I know, I appreciate that.
Mhm.
I understand that. I support him. It's okay. But I'm talking about me. This is me. I'm his wife of Boro years. This is important to me. Why can he not listen?
You're right. It's just that it takes a lot more than just saying this is what you're supposed to do it. It's not that simple. That's all I'm saying. You're absolutely correct, right?
People are just yabbing me in the comment section. Somebody say me, I want to giant foreign. Me, I'm being serious. All of you over the farm are yabbing me. Egg me. Ola,
Yeah.
in fact, I don't like what you are doing. Me, life got on shit. I don't like it. I don't like it. This is not right. Tammy, please come in. Maybe you can save me. No.
So it's you want what you want, and the idea.
And I must get what I want.
Okay, so this is the goal. The goal is that you get what you want. There's a process. There's something. There's a lot that is going to take more than just saying
Mommy Gio
to get what you want.
Who wants to be Mommy Gio? I beg, I don't want to be Mommy Gio.
If what he likes to do is to travel to Bristol to go and preach, right? First of all, you have to embrace that. You have to embrace that a little bit more. First of all, the way you are saying it.
After preaching, then you guys go,
and then you go for dinner.
Yeah,
That's
the way you are
true.
saying it, it's not helping me.
It's annoying me.
It's making
I'm telling you guys what is annoying me because let me be honest. I used to go, right? I travel with him. When he tells me he wants to go somewhere to preach, I will go with him as a dutiful wife, submissive wife. I will follow him. But it was not reciprocal. Because I follow you to go and do preaching. I want you to follow me to go and have a good time. You don't. You say, no, say, you don't need it. Just don't worry. Just go. I say, what is this? Let's go now. He say, no. Party, he will not go. Travel, he will not go. No one, he will go. Ordinary to go for dinner again, you're telling me that the place they arranged the place is too far. Ija ogun ló bá dé. Ogun ni.
Ọlọ́run ni a máa ń gbàdúrà kan Ọlọ́run ní jẹ́ ká mọ yìí.
No. It's not fair.
That prayer is, what's the loose translation of it? Means you may God not allow you to get into a place where it's too late. Somebody said something about it's too late. There was a
Oh yeah,
story
I
you
read
were
the
reading.
comment. No, for
Right.
real.
Right.
Because
So
these are the
may God
things.
not, because sometimes if we don't hit rock bottom, we don't change.
But I don't know why people like that self-destruction. Like something you're being given warnings and you're still going against it. I just don't understand. Like
Somebody said
I
I should
find it
take
so
back the
hard to
world to
understand.
Jerusalem or Israel. Can you
It's
imagine?
because of Cynthia, right?
No, but
It's
the fine, you
because
guys are
of
not nice. You
it's
are not
because of
nice. Today I know that you
uh,
don't like me.
it's because
We
of
love
lack
you.
of is the fact that we're not able to comprehend what we can't comprehend. If you haven't experienced it, you can't comprehend what it
Mm,
feels like to lose a person, to be in a position where they're no longer there anymore. You can't comprehend it. You see what I'm
mm,
saying? So it's a very, very difficult thing. It's not as simple as, oh, you're supposed to do it, you're just supposed to do it. No, it's not that simple. It's, you can't comprehend it. Like if you tell me right now, if you want to punish me right now, take me to the mall and start walking around for no reason. That's how you punish me.
or like you're not being nice.
I'm being honest, right? But I also know, right? I can also comprehend that it makes my wife feel good once in a
Happy,
while
yeah.
when I
And
do
you will
that.
do it, right?
And
I
you'll
would
do
do it.
it.
I would do it because there's a connection between me and the objective, like, to make her feel good, to make her.
Happy. Exactly.
There's a connection there. So a lot of men, they don't have that connection, and sometimes they have to hit some type of rock
Rock
bottom.
bottom. Yeah.
Everybody's rock bottom varies. We don't know what that is. Some people have to lose their whole family. Some people, all it takes is blue balls,
But
two nights.
it doesn't need to get that far. That's what we're trying to
Mm.
appeal now.
Auntie
Avoid.
B, don't
Yeah.
let me play sound effect for you. You are right.
Hmm?
You are
Why
you are
should you
Yeah.
allow it to get
you are
that far?
right. You get that far because that's how you're able to. I'm talking psychology now. You can't comprehend it if you don't know what it feels like to lose. You can't, like, it's multiple different perspectives. You see what I'm saying? They don't see what you're seeing. So what is going to take solution wise? The first step solution is express yourself. Say in terms of how you feel, right? This is how it makes me feel when you, right? These are the kind of things you want to do in your own language, because everyone's language is different too. But you have to really make sure that that person can have at least the closest as possible remote, right, to understand how you feel.
Truth said that to be iron his clothes and get
No,
his
no,
shoes ready.
no, it's none
And
of
all the
that.
money in his pocket. Look,
Yeah,
guys,
that's
tomorrow.
a good one actually. But my mom
Tomorrow
used to
is
do
the
that.
date of that date that I'm telling you guys about. Ha! We will go on that date. We will. We must
So
go
so
on
so,
that
so
date tomorrow.
Auntie B, we have to change the attitude about that completely.
What attitude of what? Attitude of what?
That tomorrow it must, no. How
No,
about
they've already arranged it. I'm telling you about something that was arranged already. It's not me. It's another
how can
our
you help?
family.
How can you help uncle feel better about taking this trip? That's what you should be
Why do I need
focused
to
on.
help him feel better? If it's to go and preach, do I need to make him feel better?
Because like you said earlier, there's obviously something in it for you. What's in it for you?
Because I'm going to spend time with him and other members of our family, which is my sister-in-law and her husband.
That's selfish. So first of all, acknowledge that that's selfish. Something you're getting from it, right?
Man of prestige. Ola, you are trending on very thin waters tonight. Tammy, let me come to you because Ola, I'm even calling him Ade now because I'm so vexed. I don't think you understand where I'm coming from. Ola, don't try me this
You're
night.
supposed to be vexed. It's okay. That's the work. That means we're doing the work.
If we
That's
don't go
why.
on that date tomorrow, if we don't go on that date tomorrow, something will happen. I'm telling you, it's not going to be nice. Tammy, I beg, come. Adewale, say what you have to say. I am going on
Adewale
that
is
date.
still
It's
here.
not far. It's within London. How can you say it's far when it's within London?
It's raining outside in London.
Is the
I
rain going to
think
beat you? Don't we have? You know how many cars we have in this house?
I think the truth of the matter is that this is a very serious topic, and a lot of women are going through, are dying in silence. The
Yeah.
men, African men, we just need to make an effort, because like someone said earlier on, Not all men cheat, but when you're in that dating phase, they know the right thing to do. They know how to
Yeah.
take you out. They know how to buy you gifts. They know how to spoil you. They know the right words to say, the right things to do. So how come all of that changes after marriage? So our
Exactly.
men needs to make a conscious effort to also satisfy the women. It's not just a one-way thing that women has to satisfy the men. Men also has to do the same. They have to they have
Exactly.
to reciprocate.
Thank
Otherwise,
you.
the marriage will, slowly, it can take years, but
Mm-hmm.
the love that woman's got for that man, with time, it will start, diminishing. And before you
Absolutely.
know it, when that affection is no longer there, it can lead to divorce.
Mm-hmm. It
So
does.
we
It
need to make
does.
an effort as men. African men, they need to make an effort. That's just the truth.
Thank you very
So I
much.
have a question. I have a
I
question to
appreciate
be.
you. Mm.
Somebody mentioned flowers earlier, right? Right. A lot of these men you're talking about, right? They didn't buy you flowers when you were dating because I'm
No,
seeing a
no,
lot
no,
of people
no.
talking about vetting. I
No,
see a lot of
no,
people talking about
flowers.
vetting.
No, flowers is not even. I'm not going that way because
No, I
flowers
just
is
want to use it as
cultural.
example. I just want to
Yeah.
use it as
No,
example,
that's not
right?
cultural. Even though my husband buys me flowers, by the way, but
Mm-hmm.
only on Valentine's Day, on my birthday. Only on my birthday. I can count. It's not
And to
every day.
be
Oh.
take it easy on uncle, easy, dear,
No,
dear,
I'm not
dear,
taking it.
dear.
I'm not taking it. I'm not
Okay,
taking it easy.
all
Mm-mm.
right. Uh,
Tomorrow, I'm going on that date with
s-
our in-law, my
s-
sister-in-law, and her husband.
no, he will go now. He will go.
You
We
will
will
go.
Yeah,
see.
yeah,
We
yeah.
will
He will
see.
go. No, he will go. He will go. He will go now.
We will see.
It's not.
If it's
Listen.
to go and preach, you can travel anywhere to go and preach. When it comes to take me out, it's
Mm.
OTG not. It's too far. He said, that place is too far. I said, how is it far? Is it not within London? Are you traveling? Are you traveling?
So for me, okay, so it's a little different for me. If, like, for example, Maryland to where I live is about 3 hours, right? Maryland is very far for me, but if I'm sitting in the car with my wife, we are gistas, we are best friends.
Ola, this
So
place is
for
within
me, it's
London. London as a whole, anywhere you are traveling within
the
London to
point.
London is no more than 1 hour.
The point I'm
It's not
making
more than
there,
one
right?
hour.
It's more to it. It's the point I'm making. There's more to it. Like the
I'm
flower thing,
making
I
a case
just
for him.
no, no, no. I'm not making a cake for him. I'm making a cake for all of us. Okay. The the flower issue is not about flowers, right? The
Sean say,
flower.
have I prepared him for the outing?
Have you prepared for your husband for the outing? Truth is here.
He
Truth is
will
with
prepare
me.
by hook or crook tomorrow.
Truth is rocking with me all the way here. But what I'm saying is this, right? The flower is not about the flower issue particularly. It's about there's when it comes to African men. Let's first of all separate something. There's some things that they just didn't do before they married you, and it's just not in the culture. Please separate those things. And if you want those things, have a conversation about it and tell them how it makes you feel. Because honestly, that one is like pulling teeth. You can't
So you
see
think I
you
haven't had
can't.
this conversation? You're assuming that I've not
No,
had
no,
this
no, not
conversation.
not you particularly, Auntie B. I'm just saying in general,
Mm.
right? It's like pulling teeth. You can't teach old. Just be aware that you're not going to be able to teach old dogs new trick. Just understand that, right? And if you're going to do anything close to it, it's going to take a lot of understanding on your part. I know it's going to be difficult.
Why
That's
don't
what
you
I'm
like
saying.
going out, by the way?
Me, I go
Ola.
out.
You
Me,
go
I go
out.
out. Yeah, I
You
go
take your
out.
wife on dates, date
Yeah,
nights.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay, so why are you
yeah.
comparing yourself to Daddy Wa?
No, what I am saying is that I can relate because I know what it feels like when you're not in that space where you're connected to the objective,
Over the
right?
farm, you
If
guys,
the
why do I feel like you guys, especially the ladies, are teaming up against me? You guys are fond of Daddy
they
Wa. You're telling me
understand
that.
me now, they
Auntie B, I
understand
think you have
me.
to pamper Daddy Wa to convince him to go out with you.
They Obodofam understand what I'm saying.
Me, pamper him to go out with me tomorrow.
Uh-uh.
Ha.
All you have to do is rub his head. That's all it takes.
I'm not rubbing no head. Mm-mm. No head is going to be rubbed. I assure you. No, I'm not rubbing any head. My sister-in-law
Auntie
and her husband
B,
are in this.
calm down.
They are going on it. We must go. We have not gone out for months, and you are telling me it's too far. Kojo.
Is
So,
that let me give you another perspective. It's actually not that far. You know what's far? Something that's very far for you right now is rubbing heads. It's very far for you, Auntie B.
what is rubbing head going to solve? You see, everybody they even like their head.
My point exactly. But
Ola. Ola, free me up.
But imagine how far
Who's rubbing head now? I should go and rub his head.
to rub ordinary head. Imagine how
Honey,
far it is
let
for
me
you
call in
now.
here and rub his head. Maybe he will change his mind. If I rub his head, will he go?
Yes, he'll go.
I don't mind. Clara said whether I will drive. Usually when we go anywhere, it's me that drive. I swear. Even airports,
I don't mind.
ordinary
I don't mind her
airports,
driving too.
even my airport, he will say, oh, he's true that likes driving. Now come and drive. I don't mind. I will drive. I will drive, go and come. If it's congestion, I will pay. You lazy, whatever, I will pay. Let's just go. Just
Go.
dress up and let us go. That's all I'm asking for. I'm not asking for too much.
So let me back off a little bit, Auntie B. He's supposed to put in some effort. Okay, let's first of all acknowledge that. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, he needs to put in effort. Because honestly, I tell men all the time, you can't afford to wait for your woman to express herself in words. She may not be capable of doing that. You might actually end up losing your. Some people ask me, say, "Oh, are you asking me to read minds?" I say, "Yes, you should be reading minds."
Ruth is saying, Ola, do you understand that as a woman, Auntie B is crying out? Yes, I am crying out. This is my cry out.
Hey, you cry to uncle, not me.
I'm crying out. I'm crying out because I know some of our church people are watching this. They are going to challenge him in church. Mommy,
okay, it's okay.
Mama,
It's okay. It is well.
Live video you.
It is well. Hey, Auntie B.
This is a cry out. Thank you, Ruth. God bless you. You understand where I'm coming from.
It is well. It is well. But Auntie B, you are proving that men, we can't afford to wait for women to express themselves in words. That's what you're proving.
So, all this about the farm, Truth, if I catch you, wherever you are, if I catch you, your name is Truth. If I catch you, do you know what she said? She said, okay, Auntie B, change your husband's wardrobe.
The wardrobe.
Truth is the one with the 12 hours question earlier. I see him.
Truth, if I catch
He's
you,
rocking with me
you're
on this
catching
one.
cruise with me, Abby. Okay. My husband is not a materialistic person. He doesn't believe in clothes. He wears sutana 247. It's only when he's going to work that he wears clothes. Yanka? So if I change his the clothes that he has since how many months, he doesn't wear them. So if I change his wardrobe,
is that one of the things you like the most about him? The fact that he's a man of God, always wearing sutana, he's a man of faith. Is that one of the things you love about him?
Ola. Hey. Yeah, a man of faith is good. A man of God that loves God. Like I can absolutely swear on the Bible that he's never cheated because he's just not caught up that way. He loves God so much. For me, it's good to love God, but you need to balance it. There's a lot of church activities, right?
Right.
That takes up his time because he's a minister, right? And I'm okay with that. But all I'm asking for is a balance.
Balance. I understand that.
That's all I'm asking. I'm not saying that you shouldn't love God because some of the things that a lot of people are dealing with, like cheating and husband and messing around, I can't deal with that. So yeah, I can say that 100% since we've been married, he's not even caught up. He loves God so much. So I love that. I appreciate that. I respect that. Right. But I'm feeling neglected. Like church takes over.
It's real. It's real. And thank you for being so vulnerable because you didn't have to.
I don't want to pretend. Let me tell you something. When I was going to go on the show, I was talking to my friend, Cynthia. Remember what happened? You were saying, don't throw daddy one under the bus. I said, no, I got to speak. This is how I feel, honestly. I'm not a pretentious person. This is how I feel.
Right. A lot of people feel that way, and it doesn't mean they're in a bad marriage. Sometimes it's a moment. Sometimes it's a phase.
No, but something has got to give.
Right.
Something has got to give because children are growing up. Our children are growing up. They're all grown up. My last baby is going to be 16 in December, so they're going to leave home soon. Oluwatobi is going to university, and I mean, not just me now shifting the focus from me. A lot of women feel that way when you don't. A lot of men. When you don't build that, companionship and, doing things together, when the children leave, what's going to happen? That's what I'm thinking about now, that in a year's time, we're
Well,
gonna only have
a
one
lot of people
child.
do. It's called the empty nester. A lot of people actually at that point is when they divorce, when the kids
Yeah.
go
Yeah,
away.
yeah.
But that's because
It's real.
but that's because the companionship and the romance has not been there to
Yeah.
sustain when the kids are not there. The focus is not there anymore, which is
Yeah.
exactly what Auntie B is saying. It's not
I don't want to
necessarily
put my
you.
focus on my children. I
Yeah,
don't want to
yeah,
get my emotional satisfaction from my children. I want my husband to love me, spend time with me, take me out, and build our relationship with me. I'm willing to, I'm willing to meet him even 70%, 30%. That's what I'm saying. But Ola, as much as
Huh.
I'm talking about myself, you know, and people are, catching cruise and laughing. It's all right. But it's not just me alone on this table.
It's a lot of
no.
people.
And
Yeah.
to be, they're not. I don't think they're laughing at you. They're just.
No, 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 no.
I
They're
think it's,
laughing with
yeah.
me. No, I don't
They're
think they're laughing
laughing
at
with
me.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're
I
laughing
know.
with you.
I
Yeah,
understand that. They're laughing with me because of the way I'm saying it. It's
yeah. But
funny. It's not
yeah,
like we
but
have issues or anything like. It's not like we are fighting or anything like that. But this is a concern for me,
yeah. And
right?
I think that's the main focus.
This
Definitely,
is
these
this
issues
is
are a concern. Yeah,
this is one of the most common thing that people go through. This is what I'd rather we have conversations about rather than all the DV talks all the time, being narcissistic talk all the time. This is the
yeah.
stuff that
Real
normal
life.
people that are going through life, they go to work, they are happy at the core of things, but then the romance kind of goes underneath. It takes a back seat, and then for a lot of people
There's
it
still
gets too
work to
late.
do.
This is the issue that most people are dealing with. This majority are dealing with this. So I'm glad you're bringing it up. It definitely is
No, no,
the
no,
la-
no.
the ladies are right.
Yeah,
We can laugh about it because everybody can relate with it at one level
Yeah.
yeah,
or the
And
other.
then to be, let me say something as well. I'll put myself on the table. I'll just give kind of a background. This was actually one of the main reasons why me and my son's dad separated. The reason, this lack of not really romance, but it was more lack of that willingness to do
relationship,
things of the
relationship.
relationship.
Yeah,
Everything he provided, he had a good job. He gave me money, all these kind of things. But those things are not important when it comes to the core of a relationship. The things that made me happy, he overlooked them. He wanted to stay
especially when you
home. He
can do
never
it
wanted to go.
yourself. Especially when
Exactly.
you can
I can
afford
do it
those things
myself.
yourself.
And I can do it myself. I'm good by myself, but that's not what I was looking for. I was looking for when we go out with the kids, we go to the park, and he's a young guy, he's in his 30s. And we used to fight about this all the time. To the point where I said, you know what? I'm not gonna marry, and we were engaged. And I said, this is a red flag. I don't want to marry somebody and be miserable in my marriage because you refuse. To me, it's like you refuse to do anything. He didn't go for family events. He didn't go for outings with me and the kids. He didn't travel with us. And then, do you know what? We separated. And to this, and I mean, we have a great relationship now as friends, we co-parent. But if he had a choice, or if he had the chance, which I'm not going to give him, he would come back because he's realized his mistakes. But it's like, why do you have to let it go that far? So it's not just it's not just older people that are in this kind of situation. There's younger people
Exactly.
as well. We were in our 30s, young couple. Even my mum is like, you guys are young. What are you doing in your relationship? You should be going about. Even my mum, that's like in her 50s, she was doing more things than the two of us, and it was embarrassing, to be honest. It was embarrassing. I felt
Let
like
me
a
tell you
single parent.
something. Let me
Yeah.
tell you something. A lot of people, thank you very much, Cynthia, for sharing. Our people, especially our women, are usually embarrassed.
Mm.
Don't
No,
forget
it
that
was
marriage,
embarrassing. Mm.
marriage in Nigerian community is a status. So you always want to present that outlook that my marriage is perfect. No, my marriage is not perfect. And this is
Mm.
me sitting down here talking to you guys about marriage all the time. And I'm saying it with my full chest. My marriage is not perfect.
Yeah. There's no such thing anyway.
There's no
Let
such
people go
thing as
and
a
make
perfect
videos
marriage.
and say I'm unhappy. I don't care.
There's no such thing. Yeah. There's
I
no
don't
such thing.
care. Because tomorrow, if I come up to you and tell you I'm divorcing my husband, then you will not say, but you've always pretended that you have a happy marriage and your marriage is bad. No, 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 no.
Hello, Sobe.
This is an issue for
This is
me.
something they said to themselves in their own head. Nobody ever
Yeah,
came out and said a marriage is perfect anywhere.
yeah.
They
This is
may
an
look
issue
like
for
it on
me.
the
And
front,
I have
but
no shame putting it out here for how many people that want to see and hear to tell you that this is an issue. This is something I'm struggling with. I am unhappy about it and I want changes. I'm trying to tell my husband, you need to fix this because it's not working for me. I don't want to stay in a marriage because we have children together and I'm staying because of the children. I don't want to stay in a marriage because we have finances tied together or we bought things together, we invested together. No, I want to be happy. I want my emotional needs to be met. So,
Yeah.
as much as people don't want to be vulnerable, and I understand why people don't want to be vulnerable publicly, because it's the same people that will shame you. They
Yeah.
will call you out, they will call you names. And that's why people pretend. There's a lot of pretense in our community. People are pretending. Meanwhile, they are suffering and smiling. And
Absolutely.
gradually, emotionally, mentally, they are debilitating.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
And
who is
honestly,
really who?
we love your honesty. You know, it's refreshing. It's definitely. I mean, people will say what they want to say, but those that are able to take the lessons, we're taking the lessons, and it's something that's happening all the time, and it needs to be exposed. I think so. Well done to you. Definitely, it's not comfortable, but it's the right thing to do, especially if that's how you feel.
Yeah.
That is how I feel. I've said it.
Mm.
I've said it. And, it is what it is. You know, people
It
will
is what it
misunderstand it. And
is.
I'm telling you that this will probably come back and people will come back and say, hey, say things, whatever. I don't care. This is about me. It's my life. All right. I was telling someone before we started the show that, I want to talk about the issue of marriage women, especially who feel like they don't have that emotional satisfaction, they don't have that emotional balance to feel like, okay, I'm in a relationship. A lot of women, Nigerian women, on this table. Honestly, they are on this table. But we need to talk
I
about it. It's
think
not,
I
and
think
until you
all
talk about things, you can't fix it.
so
Hi,
Auntie
Auntie B.
B.
Can I
Auntie,
mention something?
oh sorry, one
Yeah,
second. Yeah, go
yeah.
ahead, go ahead,
Hold
go
on,
ahead.
Jimmy.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hi. Hi, everyone. So I want to add that when you're talking about, a lot of married Nigerian women, I'm seeing that this whole hiding thing is becoming it's just so prevalent in the Nigerian community. And it's not just in the older population, but it's even coming into the younger population of married women, where women are going through these things, they're hiding it. I don't know if they're trying to like make themselves seem like superwoman.
Hmm.
I'm very transparent. If someone asks me questions about what's going on, in terms of ideas or, advice or what's going on in my marriage, I've been married for like not long, but 6 years and counting. But
Oh, okay.
one thing
Mine,
we're very,
mine
say that
is
again.
mine is multiplied and times and tripled.
But honestly, but what I can say in the 6 years, in my little experience, we are just very intentional and very transparent with each other. And I think that's from the beginning we've been like that. And I feel like that is lacking. Even when I look at like my parents or aunties and uncles relationships, I see that there's just a lot of hidden information. Like
Hmm.
parents, even with each other, even to their children, they like to hide. Secrecy is so common. And I think that secrecy in marriage, then it now spreads to parenthood, then it now
Hmm.
spreads to relationships with peers and stuff like that, just hiding things. And I don't know why some women they want to like portray themselves as like, I'm strong, I'm strong. No, we're weak. We're also human beings. We're all
Of
human
course.
beings.
Of
We all
course.
go through situations. We
Hmm.
all go through ups and
Hmm.
downs. Nobody's marriage is perfect. But if you
Yeah.
know you're going through some of these things internally, why are you hiding it? Especially from your spouse. And I also wanted to add that I think some people just don't date like when they were in the courting stage or dating stage. They probably didn't really date. Okay, let's think about our
Exactly.
parents. I think my parents are
Exactly.
probably almost your age, and to be,
Hmm.
around your age or older than you. But I don't think they really dated. You see all this going out that all the young people are doing now. It wasn't like that when
Hmm.
our parents were growing up.
Hmm.
Sometimes the man would just say, I like you, I like you. Then they
Get married.
They didn't marry. Yeah.
The ways we marriage, the ways we
So there's
marriage.
no time to really like understand each
Yeah.
other's emotions, each
Mhm.
other's needs, how to even like, and then these women, once they get married, it's like they never got to speak up when they were dating. So it's like they feel like they talk now while they're married. They got so
Mhm.
used to it and they got so complacent. So it's like, I guess I'll just take it. This is marriage. This is what marriage is. And me seeing that, I was like, oh, hell no. Excuse my language. I'm like, I'm not going to go through that in a marriage. I don't want to be in a marriage where I'm like, it's a roommate. You get what I'm saying? I don't want
Absolutely.
to be married to someone that is like a roommate. I don't want to be married to someone that I cannot be transparent with and I cannot be open with. If this is your wife, this is your husband, this is someone you have to be the most naked to. They
Most
see the naked
vulnerable.
truth,
Like,
most
this is
vulnerable.
me. See me as I am.
Exactly. So when I see like a lot of women that sometimes women will share what they're going through with their friends instead of their husband or their wife. They share it more with friends than with their own spouse. And I understand some spouses are just like, they're so rigid. They're not even trying to learn. They're so rigid and it's so terrible. And I do feel for a lot of women, or mostly women going through that. I feel for a lot of women going through that. But what I say is, with those women, I will say, you know what? Do something for yourself. Self happiness, self care. If your husband doesn't want to go out, all right, go out by yourself. Take your girls out, take your girlfriends out. And that's why I always to say a girl,
It gets
that's
tiring, Jimmy. It does get tiring going out.
I know,
It's your
I know.
husband. It gets tiring. I travel with my girlfriends. I travel with my children. I mean, it gets tiring. As
I
much as we
know.
can do all that, there is a
Yeah, yeah.
need.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, there is
Yeah.
something in you as a wife that
Yes,
always wants you to do something with your husband.
Yeah, it's not the same thing.
that's
It's
true.
not the same thing. It's not the
It's,
same
it's
thing.
not the same thing.
It's not.
Yeah.
But are you
So
gonna
so
sit there and just
so
wail?
let me suggest something, right? Based off of what you just said right now. I didn't catch your name, sorry.
Jimmy,
Jimmy.
Jimmy. Okay, hi Jimmy. I'm hearing not just you, but everybody else that has spoken so far, all the ladies that have spoken so far too. I'm hearing a lot of I don't want to, I don't want to, I don't want this, I don't want this, I don't. What do you want? I want to, in that you can say what you don't want, but I want to the same amount of what do you want. Express that in the form of I want this, I want this, I want this. Believe it or not, right? The human brain is a very powerful organ, right? When a man starts to hear I don't want, it's just negative, But what I want, if you focus more on telling what you want, reframe the same sentence, has the same exact meaning, right? But reframe it in a way that you say what you want, right? It has the brain, the human, especially a man's brain, interpret that completely differently. It's something you might want to pay
But in
attention
Auntie
to.
B's case, she's saying what she wants and he's not fulfilling
listen.
it.
No,
Yeah.
Acting on it.
I'm talking about you now, Jimmy. Based on what you, I'm
Oh
hearing,
no, no.
I
Funny
don't want
enough,
to be. No, no, it's not.
I don't fall in this
It's
category. I don't
no,
fall in
no,
this
no.
category. But I know aunties and my mom and things like that fall in this category. I
No,
don't
no,
fall in this.
I'm saying, I hear you, right? I'm not saying
Mhm.
you particularly because I don't know, we don't know each other enough, right? But I'm saying just in general, right? Just in
Mhm.
general now, I hear a lot of what I don't want. An example, not you in particular, but you did
Yeah.
say, I don't want to be in a marriage with a person that I'm a roommate with, right?
Yeah.
how how can you reframe that in a way of what you want? You see what I'm saying? When you say that to a man, just as an example again, right? You say that to a man, it's an attack. It feels like an attack. Like I've basically put my wife in a place. I don't want to be a failure as a man, right? And I've put my wife in a place. And the way I interpret that is now I overreact. Like, what do you mean? Who have you been acting roommate? What about yesterday? This is how a man will react, basically, right? Instead of to zone in and understand you're trying to say something, but he may not be capable enough to be able to interpret that. He may just interpret that as an attack, like most men. They will interpret it as an attack, like, oh, so I've been making you feel like a roommate. That's
Yeah.
I
what
don't think
his brain will
I
interpret.
don't think sorry, Jimmy. I don't
Yeah. Go
think
ahead.
that she said that to a partner that I don't want to be
No.
it's
Yeah.
just a
It wasn't.
feeling.
Yeah.
Because I had the
Yeah.
same feeling as well, that I knew the way that the relationship was going, if we got married, if I was engaged, to my ex. And I could see that if we got married, he was not prepared to change at all. So I'm not going to be stupid to think that in marriage he's going to change. I'm not that type of person. I can read the writing on the wall very clearly. Yeah. And I could see, despite the amounts of conversations, despite the amounts of suggestion, despite the amount of sitting down, saying, oh, babe, do this, rubbing his head, being nice, bending. I was the one that started bending to the point where I was no longer myself. I'm an outgoing person. I like to go out. I like to do things with my friends. I eventually stopped doing that because it just got to a point where it's like you go out as somebody in a relationship. So I can't even imagine if you're married and you're going out and you're not with your partner all the time. Once in a while, it's okay. But after a while, I stopped going out because it's like, I don't want to go out and my family are like, oh, where's your partner? Oh, where's your this? Where's your... It's like, am I... And then there's guys that want to talk to me and I'm like, oh no, I'm engaged. And they're like, oh, but every time we see you out, we never see your husband. It's like, oh, we never see your partner.
You never do things together.
At all. So for me, I knew that if I marry this guy, there's not going to be any change. We're going to be two roommates. And you know what? Towards the end of our relationship, that is how the relationship was. We were just two people in the house, paying bills, looking after the kids, and going about our separate lives. There was nothing there. And at my age, as somebody in my 30s, I didn't want to commit myself to somebody like that who was unwilling to change. So I let him go. And then I made a conscious effort entering into my relationship now that I told my partner, I said, I know, I didn't go into all the details of what my ex didn't do and didn't do, because I feel like when you give men a blueprint, they'll just start misbehaving. So I knew what my ex didn't do before. So I was very intentional with my partner when I could see that, oh, he's African. I love my Yoruba guy. I love him to bits, right? But I can see that there's a lack of romance. That romance is not there within African men, not just Nigerians. I'm Ugandan. It's the same in Uganda as well. Not all, but it's in African culture. I feel like there's a lack of that romance between each other, right?
Agree.
Yeah, but when they
I made a conscious,
the romance will jump out.
Yes, I made a conscious effort so I made an effort to point out the things I wanted. So if I wanted my partner to be like, I want to do date night, I said, babe, I love to do date night. This is what I like to do. Once in a while, it's not every time, but once I see that we've not spent quality time together, I'll be like, babe, we haven't done ABC. Can you book something? Let's go here. I'll arrange it. I know he doesn't like arranging things. He's not good at that. So I at least take that away from him and I will arrange something, but he makes the effort. And that's what I appreciate. And that's what's working for me. Because I'm not going to repeat the same.
Right.
Yeah.
Auntie B,
Sorry, I have to add something
Auntie
before
B,
Theo comes in.
Sorry.
can I quickly just say something right quick? And I jump off, please, because yes, please.
Then Jimmy. Yes.
Yes,
Thank
please.
you. Welcome.
Yes, please. Sorry for that. Yeah. Thank you, everybody. Nice conversation.
Bio, Baba.
And, thank you, sir. And Auntie B.
Bio, welcome, my brother. Long time. How are you?
I'm
Princess
fine.
Ali said something. She said, I know it is natural to feel that you need your husband to make you happy. First of all, I don't need nobody.
No,
to
that's
make
not
me
the topic. That's not it. That's not the point.
No. You guys are getting it all
They
wrong.
are getting it wrong.
I'm
But
a
let me
grown
just
woman.
quickly.
I don't need nobody to make me happy. I know how to make myself happy.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
You're
understand
getting it
that.
wrong. But I think it is difficult to reply in your husband for what? In your husband for happiness.
To reply in your
Some
husband.
husband don't know how to do it. Okay, maybe to rely on that.
To rely. Yeah.
Yeah, Auntie B, let me just quickly say this. First of all, I saw your video on Instagram today, and I watched the comments closely and everything. First of all, let me say what our African women are asking for is a just cause. It's what they deserve. Okay? So they are not asking for too much. But here's my take on this. You see, I made some comments earlier on in the chat because it's easier for me to chat, especially when I'm just watching on a Zoom meeting here because it's still work hours here anyway. So that was why I had to jump out and jump back in. So now, here is my take. And please, this is very important because one thing I always say when I come on this platform is nobody's trying to target. I learned one thing. When something happened to me, I always ask, what is my part? What is my own mistake? It doesn't mean I'm trying to accuse myself. because I always want to know that, okay, would there have been something that I could have done better, right? So that the next person can learn. Because this platform is all about learn. It's not about blame. It's not about calling anybody out. So I haven't said that. This conversation for me on the chat, I started initially by saying that these same Nigerian men, 99% of the time, nothing is absolute. We see it. We live in diaspora. And again, when I speak or we speak here, this channel is Obodoyibo TV. Yes, we want to bring out history, which is Old Testament of the African way, but the focus is the New Testament, which is the
Amen.
Obodoyibo lifestyle, right? So when I talk with the Oyibo lifestyle. I don't look the Nigerian mentality. Do you understand? So from there, what are we saying? The same Nigerian. I'm an African man. I left Africa very young, at a younger age. Anyway, I went to the Western world very early. I learned a lot of things. Most of our men, very few are privileged when they watch movie and all that kind of stuff. From our generation, the love language, what we know about, the way we are brought up, the society generally over there is that when you want to win a woman, you can do anything just to go on that day. It's the truth. Let us not deceive ourselves. So that is what most men had as mentality. So that is why you will see that most men can do anything just to win you. Now, as an African woman, you already know that this is the average African man's mentality, especially Nigerian man, for instance. I'm Nigerian, so I can call us out. So we want to win that woman. We can do anything just to get her. Now, most men take women for dates at the earlier part of their relationship, not because they are being romantic. It's because they see it as an exercise in fulfillment, not as a part in continuity. So here is the difference. The Western women would allow these men to have this impression that this is an exercise in continuity, right? So the African woman, ignorantly, not at fault now, would not realize that what this guy is actually doing, taking me out, doing this, he just want to woo me and go. So therefore, once they start that marriage, this thing continue, the man stops. And my big question is this: once this man, I can hear women of maybe 5 years, 7 years, 20 years, 30 years in marriage complaining today that maybe their husband is not romantic, is not doing this. But with all honesty and due respect, if you dig deeper, you will find out that the man did not just stop doing that today.
Thank you.
So the question
I
is,
agree.
10 years ago, when you first noticed this, why complaining after 15, 20 years?
Let me answer.
No,
You
wait,
that.
Auntie
Let me
B.
answer you. No,
Okay,
you asked
okay,
the
go
question.
ahead.
Let me answer that very
All right, go
quickly.
ahead. Yes.
Because the way people date for marriage is different. You're assuming that they had a courtship where they knew the in and out of each other before the
that's
marriage.
true. That's true.
Some marriages are arranged. Some marriages is long distance. So you may not know that aspect of your partner.
Right. So it's not a good excuse, ultimately.
Yeah. So it doesn't mean that you knew that the person was like this and you went ahead and married them.
No, I think you
20
didn't
years
understand my
later.
question then.
No,
You
no,
started.
I did.
No, let me ask it again. Take a minute, please. Take a minute, and to be cheap pills. Take a minute. I think you didn't understand my question. Why I would
I
say
think
you
he's
didn't
saying, why
understand my
didn't you
question.
complain earlier?
Hold on. Or maybe I didn't ask it the way you would understand better. What I'm saying is, whether it's an arranged marriage today, whether I don't know you before, I'm saying the romantic part of it, that they don't take the person out. Did you just notice it 20 years after, or he was doing it from during the marriage? That's my point.
It was arranged. I was sold. It was arranged. I
Thank
was
you.
sold.
So what I'm saying is that
So the
whether you
answer to
know
that,
whether you know the man,
hold
okay,
on,
go on.
let me answer. You asked a question. Let me answer.
Okay.
It varies. For some people, they may have been doing it earlier on in the relationship.
People change.
For some people, they live in different continents. So they didn't have that opportunity, going out, and they moved in, they live together. For some people, maybe the children were young for the women and they didn't feel like, oh, I won't have the time because they are struggling, with parenting and other things, finding their own feet in the abroad and all that. So, but it's not the point whether you noticed it 10 years ago or 20 years ago. It's about, I'm telling you now, this is how I feel. What are
Yes,
you going to do about it?
you have a valid point. And the question is not to say, again, I repeat, it's not to say that the women don't have a valid cut. So this is why I'm saying it. I'm not telling you that what I've seen, I've been married to an American before. So I know what I'm saying here. That's what I'm trying to explain to you, Dan, that why most Western women are different is that if they notice that thing in you, regardless at that very early stage, they will make sure they reset your head.
But what I'm saying to you, BO, is that the way marriages begin is not the
Yes.
same. Your African American woman that you
Marriages
married, you
evolve
dated. Yes. The way marriages begin in our
because
African culture is
people
not
evolve.
the same. It's not even about evolving. It's about how the
Guys,
marriage was set up in the
Oh,
first place.
I
Man of
think
prestige.
I think we're
I'm talking about the
misunderstanding
foundation.
Bio.
Thank you, madam. Let me allow her say something. I think you understand
I
where I'm
think
going
we are
to.
misunderstanding
yeah,
Bio.
no
So
go.
I think
No, I'm not misunderstanding her and him. Sorry.
if I get him properly, I think what Bio is trying to say is that, let's say for example, I get married to my husband, and within the first maybe first 1 or 2 years, he takes me out, he shows me affection, and all of that was going on fine. And then all of a sudden, or gradually, those things that he used to do started, he stopped doing those things. But I didn't say anything. I left it till maybe when the marriage was 5, 6 years, into the marriage. And then that's when I started saying, oh, you don't take me out anymore. You don't do this anymore. So his question is that, why, when we notice those changes, why didn't we address them as they are happening?
So if
It's the same
people didn't
question.
address it at that time, I understand completely what he was saying,
Mhm.
by the way.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tammy. But if you didn't address it, does it make your observation invalid now?
No, that's why I started by saying it does not make your observation invalid. That is the same way like saying when you notice a symptom of a sickness, everybody knows that the earlier you deal with it, the easier it becomes for that problem to be solved. That's why I'm not saying that now a man who has been in a marriage, for instance, 15 years, he has not taken his wife to a restaurant, for instance. After 20 years, the woman start bringing the level of, you are not taking me to a restaurant. No, my brother, listen, please. I'm not saying that man cannot change. But what I'm saying now is that, or neither am I saying that woman does not have a perfect course. I'm
Right.
only saying it becomes even more
Address it when it
difficult.
comes up. That's what you are saying.
Yes,
Address it when you notice it.
yes, that's what I'm
But
saying. Yeah,
yeah,
it becomes more difficult.
yes. But also, as Nigerian women raised in our culture, our religion, our society, first of all, when you notice something, you are not just going to go ahead and start,
It's not
start
that
making
simple.
trouble. No, first
You're
of all,
right, but it's just
you
not that
pray.
simple. Yeah.
It's not that simple.
Yeah.
You pray. You talk to that people, they'll tell you, they are all like this, oh, this is how marriage is. Oh. There are so many variables to
Even
this.
you self confused. Even you
Yes,
self
and some
It's
will
confused.
not
leave
that
it for
simple.
years. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
No,
Tamara,
that's why you cannot compare women from one culture to another culture, because we're not raised and socialized the same way.
I agree with you. That is why I'm saying to you that when somebody now come on the comment section, for instance, and say, why is it the same Nigerian men that Nigerian women are saying that they are not romantic, will be romantic to a foreigner? I don't know if you understand my point. It's
Yeah.
because that
The
foreigner
foreigners straight them
operates.
early. The
Thank
foreigners
you.
set them straight.
Early to it. That is the point. That's why I started when I said I was once married. You know, why I'm saying this is because we not just talk, we talk from experience. You
Yeah.
understand me, Sister Auntie B? And thank God you know me very closely. I don't have a single friend that is not married. And in fact, I don't even have a single friend that is less than 10 years of marriage as of today that I know. So, I mean, I don't just come and just say something. I come from that. I gather experience from where drinking parlor where we drink together, when they visit me, when we talk,
Yeah.
I get that experience.
Alfred Connor is saying that the issue is that a lot of women will not speak because they don't want to be tagged as nagging wives.
Then
They
later,
don't
when
want
you
that
start
because
talking, you
It
become a
depends
nagging
on
wife.
how you say it. It
How
depends on
you
how
say
you
it.
say it.
Yeah.
Because with me, this is me personally, if there's something that my husband is doing or he has changed, I will tell him straight away. Because for me, like I said, I like to show affection, and I like it to be reciprocated. I like it like when I dress up, if for example we're going out and I put on a nice clothes, I look in the mirror, I see myself as beautiful. I expect my husband to look at me and said, "Oh babe, you're looking beautiful today. I love that outfit." Now, my husband used to do that quite a lot. But
Right.
after a while, he stopped. And I told him, I said, B, I'm taking my time to dress up, but you're not saying anything. He said, "Oh, no, you know you're beautiful already." I said, "No, it doesn't work that way. You have to say it. When I dress up, I expect you to look at me and say, oh, you look beautiful, babe." Or maybe change this outfit. I want you to say something. I said, I hate it when I go out there and people are telling me out there, "Oh, you're beautiful." Women are telling me you're beautiful. Men are telling me you're beautiful. But my
Yeah,
husband and
husband said
myself, that I
nothing.
dressed in front of him, didn't say
Said
anything.
nothing. Yeah, definitely.
So you have to address those issues as they are popping up. Because where beer is coming from, when you leave it, for too long, then to that man, it becomes a norm. It's normal to them. So when you start now wanting to bring those issues up, that's when they see that, what's wrong with this woman? Now
Me
you're
have been
nagging.
like this. Why are you changing now?
Exactly.
Right. So Ross said, no matter how you address some things, life might just get in the way of you putting yourself first.
Yeah. I have a quick question for Tammy. I think that's Tammy that was speaking up there, right?
Yes, Tammy.
Yeah. So if you say to him, right, Tammy, and you say to him like, no, I want you to say to him, if he responds as this is coming off as some kind of random weird ass demand, how are you gonna react to that? Do you think it's wrong for feeling that way?
Like I said, it depends on how you say it.
Right.
The manner in which you say it, it's a big factor. So
Right.
if I come up to my husband like with my voice raised high and like I'm really confronting him, the way he will react might be, "Please just leave me alone," or "You're nagging." But when I say, "Oh B, come on, I've taken what do you think? Why are you not saying it? I look beautiful. I don't like it when I go out and people tell me I'm beautiful and you are not saying it to me. I like it when you say it. When you say
Okay.
it to me, it makes me feel good.
And
It
I'm going to
tickles me."
support Tammy by saying
Yeah.
I
that
think sorry,
even as a
Obio.
man, when you're dating somebody, we are very sensitive, especially the Nigerian men. Let me say this to you. You see, when recently I met a foreign girl and we just started talking, I noticed what she told me. She can't stay a month without traveling. This is her. It's either you like her or you don't like her. So she set the tone. Then there are some women that they will tell you that they must eat, at least go out to eat once a week, even if it's every Sunday. Sorry to say, Nigerian women don't come batching on me. Some of our Nigerian women now, from the beginning of that relationship, hold on, I don't want to sound like I'm targeting women. Uncle Ade, hold on. When they start dating a
He
man,
just called me Okwade, this guy.
sorry,
All
because
of
of
us
the
are
way you,
calling you
I'm watching you
Auntie.
closely. The way you move backward, it look like you want to eat me like a lion. Hold on.
Theo,
So
I would like you to take some responsibility
yes,
by saying that, okay, maybe I didn't say it when we started. Maybe I had
okay.
other things that occupied my mind, like my children were young. I had other things. I didn't even notice. I'm saying it now. What do you do to change it? Instead of focusing on, I didn't say
The
it that time
past.
when we married
Yeah.
over 10 years ago.
That's
Yeah.
very
Okay, yeah,
It's
important.
okay.
important to me now.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
what you can do. All right, let me focus on that. So, what you can do to change it is to understand that change comes gradually. Change can't just come at once. Let's say, for instance, if the level is already zero, you cannot expect 100 at once. You must start to rebuild it from a 10 upwards. So what do I mean by that? So it's not too much to ask, but you have to bring your expectation down, realizing we just some
You're
things we
speaking your
just
last language now. Allah is always telling people about managing their expectations.
You
yes,
have to.
yes. So
You have
yeah,
to.
by just managing it and bringing expression down,
I'm saying it
yeah.
now. I've been
So wait
married for
now.
so
So with
long.
that being said,
I want it now. Give it to me.
yeah. So with that being said, for instance, if you notice, for instance, oh God, I don't like to specific to one person generally, but permit me to use an example from what
Please
No, use
now.
me. Use me.
okay.
It's me that
And
I'm the
and
one
I
that
no
maybe
be
I'm saying
general.
that.
I no be generalizer police here. Oh, I
No,
beg, do your
I
thing.
need to
Don't
take permission
generalize.
from
Just
her
use
Okay,
before
that
doing
one
it.
as an example. Because
please.
me, I'm
Permit
saying
me, permit
me,
Okay.
me.
I shared
Good.
my own issue.
Yes.
Like
So
I
permit
said
me.
that my husband is on this table and I'm
Yes.
unhappy about it.
Yes. So permit me, ma'am, for saying this. So now let's say, for instance, if you know that is, for instance, that is why someone who's very engaged in his calling and all that kind of stuff, for instance, and
Mm.
you now instead of taking him on a trip, for instance, that you know that this trip is going to take the whole day, you can start with like an hour one, 30 minutes one. You know what I'm trying to say? So
What if he doesn't
gradually,
want to go?
eh?
What if he doesn't want to go to work, even for 1 hour?
What I'm saying here is that, Auntie B, you and I know that if it's lesser first for a start, it will be more likely to change. We are talking about change here, right? So what I'm trying to say is that once you can't just say, okay, because you want it, for instance, you say, okay, ultra today, you and that your calling. You know, today you go put Kazok. Now me and you,
No, no,
ultra
no, no,
today.
no, 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 no,
Yes,
definitely not. You
thank
can
you.
never ask people to choose between you and their
Yes,
calling, their
yes,
passion,
yes.
their whatever, their what's the word I'm looking for? What God has called them to do and their passion,
Their
that's
purpose.
purpose. Thank you. You can never ask people to choose between you and their purpose. No.
Me, I
You
won't even
will
choose. I will choose my purpose always. So
purpose will win all the time. No, no. I will never. All I'm asking for is we're here now. Consider us now. I wanna go and be by you now. Consider us now. No
I'm so
problem.
happy to see Kate's comment right now. I'm so happy to see
Yeah,
Kate.
same. Well done, Kate.
Yeah.
Kate has an
Ladies,
amazing
shoot your
husband.
shot. Don't wait for him. Drag him by the
And
balls.
that's what I was
Don't.
saying, being intentional. Like women have to be more intentional. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying, that we can't just always wait on the men. That's what I'm always also saying. Like me, I don't always wait for my husband. Sometimes once he sees that I'm having fun, once he sees that I was always going out and stuff, then it gingered him. So sometimes
Yeah.
that's what I was saying to you,
Who is
Auntie B, that
speaking now? What's her
this
name,
is
please?
Jumi. This is
Jimmy.
Jumi. I've
Jimmy
been
is
saying it.
speaking.
Jumini.
Thank
Jimmy,
you,
it's not
Jimmy.
specific to you.
Jimmy,
Nobody has more than me.
may the Lord
As you
bless
see me
you.
here.
May the
Yeah,
Let me
Lord
tell
yeah,
you
bless
but
you.
something, Jimmy.
May the
yeah,
Lord
but
bless you.
wait,
May the
amen,
Lord
amen,
continue to bless Julie.
amen.
Jimmy.
But
Jimmy,
Jimmy.
Egbo,
Suru. I
thank
know
one thing
you.
I
Suru.
realized that
This girl bought me a ticket, dating girl, from me and her to go to Houston on a trip, right?
Mm,
We not a
mm,
date too. But guess
mm,
what? I end up spending twice what she spent.
mm.
What do I mean by this? I'm supporting
BO
her
is about
point.
soft life.
Jumi,
yes,
Jumi, you are very correct. Let women, you can set your husband up. She just said, yeah,
Dio, please, you are moving from the conversation.
you need
This is
solution.
not
Is it not
about
the solution they are giving? So
no, 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 no,
Jumi is
no.
giving a
That's not a
solution now.
solution. No, 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 no. That's not a solution.
Ah,
It's
Jumi, that's not a
specific.
solution.
No, 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 no. It's specific to Jimmy. What she's
Okay.
saying. We are talking about people who have tried various things. It doesn't work.
Yeah, like
Do
Okay.
you
get
think
your
it's a big deal
business.
for me to
Set
book a
I
our
ticket?
get a
business.
You think
solution.
it's
We
a
get
big,
All
big
right,
deal for me to book
let me
travel?
listen more to you guys. All right, go ahead.
Listen, Dio, please.
BO.
It's not a big deal for me to book for me and my husband to go on getaways or whatever. No, that's not the point. The point is,
Right.
are they listening enough to understand what I'm trying to communicate? This is not about
No.
me. I don't want to be in charge. I don't want to take control. I don't want to. It's about listening to see this is what is important to me. You still don't get it. This is not about dating. We're not talking about dating, no. We're talking
marriage.
about
Yeah.
long-term marriage. Marriage of over 20 years. We're talking about where you guys, I think everybody has forgotten about the premise of this video, of this show. It's
Yes.
about women who are wives and become
Wives.
lonely
Yeah. Yeah. It's
in
real.
the marriage
Okay,
because
but Auntie B, I
husbands
feel like
are
I can
not
only
doing what they're
speak
supposed to
for
do.
I feel like I can only speak right now for people that are about to get married or people that are in young marriages. This is how they need to be intentional and not
Yeah.
wait till 10 years or 20 years to start complaining. That's what
I
I was
like
going to
that.
say.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So Jimmy, let me say something to what Jimmy just said.
Yeah.
You're not wrong, Jimmy. You should be intentional. But we're adding on to that, right? As people that have been married for a while. Regardless of how intentional you are, see finish, life is going to happen and there's going to be that phase.
You
It's
become
going to
a
come
furniture. You
it's
are
going to
becoming a
it's going
furniture.
to come from a
But
blind
that's what
spot.
intentionality is.
No,
Everybody's
wait,
given that
wait.
excuse of
No
years.
matter
No,
And
no,
I'm
how
no.
sorry, there's
intentional
some
you
people
are,
that have
Let me
been
finish.
married for
20 years
20,
is a long
25 years.
time.
No, let me
You
finish
have
it.
to move
Let me
on.
finish the point, right? Let me finish the point. Here's why it's
Okay,
very
go ahead.
important that I make this point, okay? You can be intentional as an individual. That always works. You could say, listen, I'm getting my BA, right? My BSc in the next 2 years. There's another human being involved. You understand what I'm saying? So there's going to be a phase. It's going to come from a blind spot, meaning you can only see so much in front of you. There's always a blind spot. It's going to come, and you need being intentional. You need to be intentional with your emotional intelligence and understand that when that phase comes, oh, okay, this is that phase that all I talked about 10 years ago. Now you can be intentional and understand it from an emotional standpoint and then address it and not say, hey, you too, you should be intentional because that's not going to work because that person's another human being entirely and they're
And
coming from a different place. You see what I'm saying?
Ola,
So
I get that.
I
I
like
get that.
intentionality,
But
but
one
we
one
must
thing I
add
will
emotional
add,
intelligence to that.
I think we should also add evaluation of the relationship or the marriage. At the end of the year, when me and my husband we do New Year's what's it called, New Year's Eve in church, they'll say write down things and stuff. Me and my husband, we go through our list together and we talk about our marriage, our finances, our children, things like that. So when I say intentional, it's not just from one, it's not one sided. It has to be two sided. And I agree with that. But it's something you have to also, we self evaluate, but you also have to evaluate your marriage.
The
Maybe
relationship.
every
Yeah.
few quarterly, maybe yearly, maybe monthly. Oh, if you say, oh, we didn't go on a date this month. Oh man, hubby, we got to go on a date. Like, I got to get out because I'm not a homebody. I like to be out. I realize that I like to be out and about. Thank God for family support that can help watch my kids, but not everybody has that. And sometimes you just have to pay for support. But one thing I say, like, you just have to always check in. And that's what I say. I feel like
Absolutely.
it
No,
doesn't
no, no, no.
matter how many years
You're
you've been
right.
married.
You're right. But here's the thing, right? You're right, and I'm not negating what you said by saying but, right?
Hmm.
When if that works for you, and if that works for anyone listening to me, all you have to do is keep doing it. If you bring up the word evaluation and the other person reacts funny, negatively about it, it doesn't mean they're wrong. There's more to it, and you need to assess it from that standpoint that there's something you can't see. That's going to happen after years upon years of the same boring, good old, the same person, see finish, enter. It's going to happen. When you bring up the words evaluation, intentionality, bound, all this stuff, and that person overreacts to it negatively, it's not because they're weird. They're just being a normal human being. That's all we're trying to say.
Allah, let me
And
tell you something. When people say I've been married for 20 years, I've been married for 20. I don't know how many people notice. I've never ever mentioned how long I've been married on this platform. Not once. And it's intentional. Do you know why? Because Nigerians and our culture generally as Africans is that we like to pride ourselves in I've been married for 45 years.
Right.
Yes, good.
Title.
Congratulations. You've been married for, I mean, in my line of work, I see people that have been married for 60, 50 odd years. British people marry very early. Maybe they marry when they were 15 and 16. And you see them together for the next 60 years. The queen sends them a card congratulating them on their 50 years of marriage. I've seen it. That's not what's important to me. What is important to me is in those
the quality.
50, 20 years, how many of those years were you happy?
Yeah.
That's something we need to reflect on.
Yeah.
How many of those years?
So
It's not about you being married for so long. Good. It's wonderful. You raised all your kids together in a two-parent household. They've all left home now. They are married. They are successful. They went to university. Whatever. They are doing well. But I'm asking you, and I'm going to ask you, Yahoo. I'm asking you because it's you that know what you've been through. In all these years that you've been married for 60, 40, 30, whatever, 20 something years, how many of those years were you happy? Because it's not just about being married Being together is about how you felt in all the years that you were married. That's me. Maybe I'm just
So
being.
that's to support. So that's to support Jimmy there. That it does matter that you should continue to assess things. On a day-to-day basis, and it's not about the number of
Absolutely.
years. Yeah.
Absolutely. Number of years for in our culture, what I found, number of years don't mean jack. Some people were married for a few years, maybe 1, 2, 3 years, and it's the most amazing years of their life. Maybe something happened to one of the spouse and they will keep telling you about it. Some people have been married and they've never enjoyed their marriage for one day. It's all been misery upon misery, and they cannot tell you. Do you know why? Because they don't want to be judged. They don't want people to ask questions like, how did it start? Oh, if you tolerated it in the beginning, why you not tolerating it now? What has changed? That is why people don't speak. I'm
Yeah.
telling you.
Yeah.
Because like I was saying to somebody in the comment section, marriages in our culture stand different ways. Some people marry in Africa, they see their wives once in 6 months, once in 12 months before they finally live together in a long time. Some people are seeing their husband for the first or second time they are getting married. Marriages are contracted various ways. So you cannot ask people, oh, why did you put up with it at the beginning? Because in the beginning, they didn't even know each other. They were total strangers.
Yeah. That
Since
question,
you
Auntie
started this
B.
show, this is the best question, the best comment. I so much love it that Auntie B have made so far. In fact, I give you three quotes for that because this statement again brought us back to the conversation of the day, which is, as you just said it so, when somebody have something that is not happy with for a long time, and you now see the person coming to a judge, for instance, and complaining about that thing, you want to believe that this thing is recent, because if it's not recent, that tells you the person have not been enjoying over the years. And the average beer man, when we sit down for beer parlor, Ola, brother Prestige,
Yes,
even
sir.
in the church, even in any society, when men gather, men will say, I know my wife. We always use that term. I know my wife. Once I buy this one, oh, explain that.
No, no,
I
sorry
know
about
my,
that.
Bio, somebody said something now that I just pinned.
okay.
Stephanie, you want to call in? Call in very quickly, my dear. The link is in the comment section. Susu said, I am this close to checking myself in a mental hospital. When I say this is real,
Auntie B, can I just say one or two things,
thank you,
please?
Brother Patrick.
Brother
Welcome.
Patrick.
I've taken time to listen, and thank you, Auntie B, for what you are doing. God bless you. Let me first of all say the women are really saying the right thing. When God repeats words in the Bible, God is not a stammerer. He's just emphasizing on it. And when a woman starts telling the husband, I want this, I want it, they really meant it, which is valid. And you can't plant a seed and you don't water it. It's not going to die.
Amen. Amen.
If you look at it for the past 3 years, what people went through, COVID, it's even affecting production.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people retire. Some people want to work from home. Some people don't even want to work again. And my wife, she's a nurse. Sometimes she calls me and say, Oni, can you believe people calling and I have to work 18 hours? And she
Mm-hmm.
has to go the next day.
Imagine.
So people they need rest. One of my colleagues, she's 65. She told me, say, if you are not dating your wife, why are you married?
Yeah. I hope
That
people are
one
looking at
is
the comment section
struggling.
and seeing women, because I was able to share my, and this is the thing about being, Brother Patrick, God bless you, sir. We appreciate and love you very much on this platform. When you share your vulnerability, it gives people the courage to open up about their own situations. When you keep pretending that all is rosy, they are happy, people will say, okay, let me keep quiet. Maybe it's just me. Look at the comment section and seeing people. Somebody said, Susu said a minute ago, I'm this close to committing myself to a mental institution, NECA. He's supporting. He say you and me and you both. So many women cannot speak. They are lonely. They are emotionally starved in their marriages. They are unhappy. They are married to their children. Don't ask them question about why. No, no, no. This is how I feel now, and that's what's important. I feel like we are cheating people when you start asking them, but you put up with it in the past. How did it get? Because you don't know how the marriage began in the first place.
You know,
Yeah.
now, Auntie B, little things matter to women a lot. Even in the house, just by ironing our clothes, saying hi, I love your hair. Your hair is nice. When did you do it? You are looking pretty. It goes a long way. You know, I said in the comment section that dating a woman is a therapy to women. Yes, even me, you know, sometimes when we go out, when I hold my wife said, "This is fake African man." But yes, she calls it up. Say, "My husband is fake man. I know you hold my hand to show that you have your wife outside, but I still pretend." So, you know, Ola, let me just say something. There is no template for marriage. We learn every day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Every day. You know, my kids, it's not about money. My kids have been to London 4 times. You know, the last time they said, "Daddy, we don't want to go again." I said, "Oh my God." I look at my wife, say, "Okay, thank you very much. You don't want to go again?" I just told my wife, say, "These kids are grown. We are not dealing with them again. Let them deal with themselves. It's me and you." I know the danger aspect of it. Some women will not talk. They will wait for you. They
This
will
is why
give
they
you
don't
back.
talk. Let me tell you why they don't talk. Yemi, Brother Patrick, please look at the screen. He said, Yemi said, great conversation, great topic. And yes, this is real. When I expressed this same sentiment to my husband, do you know what he said? His response is that at least he isn't cheating or abusing me.
Wow.
Well, Auntie B, let me just tell those men that they are even missing. Yes, they are
It's
missing a
better to
lot.
talk. It's
Yes,
better to
at this
talk.
level of
There's no
mine,
justification for
Auntie
not
B,
talking.
at this level of mine, it's even my wife that make all the planning. Yes, like some women said, it's my wife that goes ahead, just scrap, well, I'm ready, I'm in. Even when we are going out, like I said, a lot of people are emotionally, I don't know how to describe. They need, even at work, they need people to talk with. Not to talk of your husband. You don't go out with your wife. You don't do shopping. You don't hang out. You don't do
Date
dating,
night, no
date
date
night.
night.
That's it.
No, I
That's
mean, Brother Patrick, you were doing an anniversary that day. I saw how you and your wife, all the things that you were doing. I mean, we have amazing couples. It's not to say that all marriages are like this. I need to get that out because somebody will watch this tomorrow now and say, Nigerian marriage. No,
Auntie
some
B. Let me tell
some
you, it's not all about
marriages are.
money. People just, it's not all about money. You can plan small thing with your wife.
Yes,
The
yes.
greatest thing you can give to your wife is time.
Chinya said, we are talking about emotional starvation.
Yes.
That's what we are talking about. Chinya, you got it. That's what we are talking about. Emotional starvation. Spending time with people, your partner, your wife, your husband, spending time, showing them love, telling them, I see you. You are still hot. We've been married for 20 years, but you know what? You are the hottest baby in town.
Absolutely.
So Auntie B, let me just round up. You know, God just opened my eye during these 2 weeks. There are two faces to a marriage. That period, and it's like debit and credit. Yes. If you don't put anything in, not you are not going to get anything at the end of the day. As long as you are married to each other, there are faces like Auntie B said your last baby is 16.
Yeah,
You
he's
remember
16 though.
those? You remember that those times when they were younger, picking them from school, waiting for the bus
I
to
was
come in.
consumed with caring, and I was going to school at the same time.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to I didn't even know I would survive.
Struggling to make them go to school, taking care of them. They are now big boys, big girls now. Just another phase. Like we said, before you know, you become an empty nester. You now go to a state, everybody have said it all, that you both need each other. But if you have not put anything in, there's going to be issue. I'm not going to mention the church. One big man of God, Gio, and there's a man that used to follow him to travel a pastor too. You know what the wife came? He said, Pastor, sir, Gio, I'm sorry. I don't have anything against my husband. No. It's pastor, but I'm not going to stay with him again. We are not going to divorce. We are not going to stay together again. And the Jew has nothing to say.
I feel like, Brother Patrick, what I'm going to say to you before you leave, sir, is that, especially for men who have a calling in the ministry, and I'm talking about Christendom now, where you feel like, even though you have your day job or business, but you still feel like you have a calling. I think they need to do better when it comes to balancing, things, because there's a lot of things that take their attention. You've got your day business or day job, you've got, ministry, which is obviously very important to you, but you also got your family. So the family oftentimes suffer from your
Mm.
lack of attention, your lack of time, because your time is divided. Especially, I'm talking about people who live in the diaspora, because in Africa, most people who do ministry do it full time. So they don't need to deal with working, or having a business to run. But when
Yeah.
you are juggling so many things, the family will suffer.
And,
Children will grow up and leave, but the wife will feel, your wife might feel like, oh,
and
I'm
let me
neglected.
quickly put you guys say this. Like I said, I was a pastor back in Nigeria. I was offered a pastoral position here in America.
Yeah, you
I
said so.
rejected
You
it
said you rejected it. Yeah, you
because
told
of
us.
my wife.
Mhm.
I said, if my wife is not part of it, we are not in it together, I'm not going to take it. They have to bring a pastor from Manchester in England.
You said so, Brother
Yes,
Patrick. You told
so
us.
it's all about understanding. Yes, if my wife is not there with me, I'm not going to be there. Like you said, we are all busy. She's in school. She's doing many things together. My kids were younger then. So I said, I'm not going to take it.
She's in school.
So it's all about understanding. Your wife should be your partner. It should be your spiritual partner. Pastor Adeboye said it one day during the minister conference. Oh, you pastors that are fasting. He said, well, you better go and carry away your wife. When you fall, before you fall down with that sister, it's your wife that will help you. Some of them, they are fasting, they don't carry away. And women talk now. They told their mommy, whatever, and the thing leak. He
It's
said, no,
fasting.
I'm not asking you to be fasting forever. You need to carry away. You understand?
Yeah.
So your partner has to be there. If you have a ministry and your wife is not there, I beg, you don't have a ministry. That should be your partner. You should be supposed to be doing it together.
Amen.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you
Auntie
so much,
B.
Brother Patrick. I appreciate you, Brother
Yeah.
Patrick. God bless you, sir. Okay. Tammy,
Aunt,
is that
Auntie
you?
B. Yeah,
Tammy, yeah.
you are absolutely right, because most of our women that are going through this issue that we're talking about is majority are like Christian women. And something that the men needs to understand, like be you a pastor, a deacon, a minister, whatever you are in the church, your home is your first calling.
First.
Is your first calling, because
Why do they think church is the first
even the
calling?
Bible said that the
Mhm.
man should love the wife as Christ loved the church. If you cannot cater for your home, which is your first calling first, then you are failed. Because how are you going to advise the people that you are leading in church? How are you going to teach them how to grow your marriage, how to love your wife, how to look after your own kids when you are absent in your home?
Amen.
And this is why you see most
Tammy.
pastor misses, they are dying in silence.
Amen.
The men does not show them that affection. They just dedicate their life 100% into that ministry. But your first ministry is your home.
How do you make them understand that their first ministry is their home when they think that the church is their
This is where the men needs to make a conscious, effort to reevaluate what is there has to be a right balance. There has to be a right balance. This is where they have to sit down and really evaluate what is important to them. Yes, God is important to me, and yes, my family is also important to me. And God will be angry with a man that neglects his home, his wife, and his children, and focus mainly on church. And then the first calling that God has given unto you to look after, you failed in that. It's gonna be God is good. They're gonna be answerable to God. Because that's the first calling that God has placed in that man's hand to say, this is your home. Look after it. It's only when you're now able to look after your home that's the only way you'll be able to look after the church or that ministry that you've chosen as a calling. It's both of them are intertwined. You have to balance both of them. And this is where our men get it wrong. Our Christian men, our pastors and ministers and deacon and in the church, they get it so wrong. They neglect. So at the end of the day, you find out that the home is suffering at the expense of that calling. But it shouldn't be so. Both can be. You can flourish well in your ministry, and you can flourish well as a husband and also as a father. It goes beyond you just providing the needs of the home. You have to provide not just the financial need, the emotional need as well is there.
And one day you now hear that the marriage has ended, and you'll be wondering, what happened?
Yeah.
It's not that day that it ended, though. It's
No.
ended years ago because she's felt like she's been neglected. You prioritize everything, the church, your ministry, everything above her because you think that's the thing that comes first. So, yeah. You've spoken very well. Thank you so much, Tammy. Really, really appreciate your contribution.
No problem.
Thank
I'm going to
you.
log off now, so maybe someone else can come in.
All
Thank
right.
you for
Thank you
having
so
me.
much. Thank you.
Bye.
I've got Ola. Do you want to say something so that I can take Stephanie? A lot of people
I'm
are
gonna,
interested in this conversation, by the way.
and to be, I'm gonna jump up as well. I'll let somebody else jump on. Have a good evening. I'm in the
All right,
comments.
sweetheart. Thank
All
you
right.
so much.
I'm not in a rush if you want to take it
Okay.
long.
All right. Let me take Stephanie. Stephanie, hello. You're welcome.
Oh, hello, want to be. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Where are you calling us from?
Leicester.
Welcome from Leicester. What do you have to say?
I just want to say, don't be discouraged. You're a strong woman. You're a fantastic mom. And you've done great because obviously I came from a home whereby obviously I lost my mom 17 years ago from cancer.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I was 14 at that time. So obviously what led to her illness was something to do with what we're talking about right now, because not a lot of women will be able to like tolerate, or to stay, especially like obviously what you said, you had kids and you were young and you were juggling work and school and all these things together. It's a lot, and obviously not getting the attention from your partner. That's a lot to, especially when you're so busy, you might not even think like, oh, there's this sort of things missing because you're too busy with the kids and doing all these things. But then it comes to a time whereby obviously this stuff is slowed down and then you start to realize that, you start to realize what is actually missing. And then when there's no improvement, that's when the situation gets worse. So obviously it's just really, really tough. And I feel like ministry, obviously, because I'm married. I've been married for like 10 years and my husband is a pastor. Ministry is something that takes a lot of time, but you have to get your priorities straight. Like obviously, because your wife is the number one anyways, your wife is number one. You have to make time for your wife, for your kids and all that. So obviously it's not easy, but all I want to say is that don't be discouraged and just put your heads up because God is with you and God knows your heart and things will definitely change. It will change for the better.
Thank you, Stephanie. I appreciate your contribution, and yeah, I like the fact that you said that it's family first before ministry. When you
Yeah.
have a situation where it's ministry first and family is just lagging in the background, that's where the
Mm-hmm.
problem is. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. God bless you. Okay, that's a lot of encouragement from my darling Stephanie from Leicester. Cleo, you are next. What do you have to say?
Hi, good afternoon, Auntie B.
Americano or Canada?
I'm calling from Canada. This is my
You're
first
welcome.
time.
Once I hear afternoon, I know it's somewhere in America.
Yes, I'm actually at work, and this is my first
Oh,
time. I am
thank you
so
so
excited
much.
to be here. I've been your follower for a very long time. There was a time I wanted to call in because you had a program that was so personal to me, but I couldn't. So I just want to quickly jump in because I'm working. I need just feel like this is my first time joining the show. So
Mhm.
the conversation we're having today, I didn't have I was unable to join at the beginning, but I think I have some understanding about what is going on. So I know that we mentioned that sometimes in marriage there are things that we overlook while we are courting. And I want to use myself as an example. So when I met my husband is a very quiet person. He is not the type that, as a matter of fact, I overlooked the fact that he is not the type that goes out. And because I was working at that time, I had my own time to go out. I don't really go out per se, but I have friends. Some weekend we hang out and all that. So I didn't really think much about it until when we are married. I remember there was a time I looked at him that after my daughter, and I've been married for 15 years. So I told him what I said. Do you know you are so boring? And my husband was like, and that really got so. In fact, I have never seen him feel so bad. He felt really, really bad. He looked at me and said, "Why?" I said, "You were boring. There is nothing. You just go to work, come back. That's it."
Mhm.
And that was in Nigeria. So then
Mhm.
he asked me and said, "What do you want me to do?"
Mhm.
Then we started, and I noticed that what interests me doesn't interest him. I was brought up in an environment where we go for picnics. We are more of eating out. You go to the eatery. My husband wasn't brought up that way, so we are different totally. So I think it's about understanding one another. Just understand each other. Have that conversation.
Compromise. Compromise
Yes,
is
yes.
needed.
Let's meet at the middle.
Yes.
Right. I don't
Please,
expect him to
don't
change
let me
overnight. No.
Okay, I'm very outgoing. My husband is not outgoing. He's outgoing, but he only goes to one place, which is the church, right? Let's meet halfway.
One
Me, I will go
pardon
to
person.
church. I will go to church halfway. You two come out with me
Mhm.
sometimes. That's compromise, isn't it?
Yes, yes. Let's
Mhm.
let's meet at the middle, and that's. I just want to buttress the point where that we see this while courting, but maybe we thought after marriage we could change them, or maybe
Mhm.
things will change after marriage. I don't want to believe that we don't see the signs. We do. I
Sometimes
knew
you
my
don't.
husband.
If it's a long distance relationship, you don't.
Yeah, well, you don't. Yeah, and my husband case, we it's not we don't live in the same state. We don't see all the time, but even the time that we see, he's more like the indoor kind of person.
Mhm.
So and I knew that after married, it's going to be difficult for him to change over. So what I do lately is I might just pick one weekend and say, okay, we are going to high up to have breakfast. I know we always have conversation. We always argue about. He doesn't like Chinese. I do. My husband will eat Chinese and still come back and want me to make eba. And I'll be like, seriously? But that's just him. So
It
I don't
doesn't
take it.
feel him. He doesn't like the food.
He doesn't like it. So
Mhm.
he tried to at least make it. If it's one thing I want, he will want you to do it for me. So I just feel as a couple, we need to have this conversation. It's a lifetime agreement. I didn't know
Cleo,
what.
please. I can't laugh. Okay, my comment section is always so funny. Ola, Egbami. Cherish Olivia TV say my own husband likes to watch TV. It's Telemundo that he watches. Is he in Nigeria?
Telemundo.
Telemundo. Is
But do you
TV.
know sometimes men don't understand? I remember one time my husband would tell me, because I know I'm not a romantic person. He is more romantic than I do. I am not an overly romantic person at all. So one day he was in his room and I was like, oh, okay, let's create an atmosphere. and my husband was watching football. And in my head, I was like, seriously?
The romantic atmosphere is swept up.
So how do you want me to get someone with this? So you know I'm
my
not
God.
a romantic person. So I would expect something
Jesus
different.
is
So
Lord.
men that's I think
Telemundo. What
they're
are we going
just
to do about
wired.
this Telemundo husband now? That's
Yeah,
watching
they're just
Telemundo.
wired differently. What interests us most times don't interest the men. I would tell my husband I wanted to change my ring. It's been long, we're married. I thought we were going to do that at our 10 years anniversary. And my husband would be like, there's this property I was talking about. And I'll be like, seriously? At this time? So we don't share the same thing
At least he's talking about property. That's investment. I can live with that.
Well, it's good, but can't we have other things? It shouldn't be one-sided.
You can, but at least it's not.
She wants
not
what she
TV.
wants.
Exactly. And Sister B, you just mentioned, let's meet at the middle.
Me do.
Very, very important. I mean, men don't understand. When women, Cleo, thank you so much for sharing with us. I feel like because I've opened up tonight, which against all advice.
Auntie B, I have solution for you. I'm back.
Say Jumini, say Jumini.
Jumini, oh no, Jumini, what's my solution? Yeah, tell me.
I don't want to give up on you because I feel like we also have to help our aunties and our mommies.
Okay.
So there was something my church did. One of my sisters is actually listening. She'll know what I'm talking about. My old church, what we did, the youth planned like a lot of events for married couples. And I think this is where we can merge, what you want and your husband's love for ministry. We can merge it.
Do you know the kind of church that I attend?
Yeah, I think so.
It's a white garment church.
No, they do it in New York. So I know it can be done in London.
Jimmy, have patience. You know what? Let's not go there.
We're not giving up. Like I'm with Jimmy on this one.
No, not work in the kind of setting that we are. It's the kind of setting that even permit. It's an African church. Even permit polygamy are there. If you ask them to plan couples retreats, who would they bring? Is it wife number 1, 2, or 3? Who would they bring?
I'm giving solutions. You're just dropping it.
I know. No. I appreciate that. I really do. But that church one, it will be difficult a little bit for the kind of environment that we are.
No, I understand, but I went to TSC. I went to a church. I went to TSC, and it was also just as strict. A lot of women were not even open. The men were not even open to this idea, but it took the youth. I'm telling you, the youth can really do a lot of things in most churches. They can push a lot of.
Wait. First of all, Jimmy, have you been to a white garment church before?
I actually, when I first came to America when I was young, I was, and then we moved out.
But you know how many wives some of them have? They have even plus wife. They have side chicks. Yeah, you don't know what we're talking about here. They will even congratulate you, pay you. It's only you that your husband married. What is your problem? You better cool down.
If they are very traditional the way most of them are, yes, it's a tough one. Yeah,
they are very traditional.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
So if it's party, they will go. But if it's marriage event, they won't go.
They might go, but when a situation where somebody has side chick, and sometimes in Nigeria, it's so bad that in some of those our churches, they won't have the side chicken. The wife and the side chick are inside the same church.
Oh my God.
So even my church is considered supposedly supposed to be a little bit not as traditional, but even when they plan a couples trip, what they usually have is they will have they have a preacher just come and preach the whole thing.
Well, yeah, I understand. That's kind of boring to me. I'm talking about again.
You don't know the kind of preacher. Every day,
nobody wants the couples retreat where you're going to listen to sermon again.
I don't like going. I don't like.
It's not even retreat. What if it's like a ball, like a ball?
No, it's a good idea, but you just have to make sure that the thing is that some things water and oil don't mix, right? Once you're in a religious setting,
Auntie B is part of the problem.
Can you hear me?
She's
Jimmy
part
say
of the
ball.
problem
What
too.
is
She's not willing
ball?
to
Oh.
change.
She's not willing, I
Ball.
know.
Is it volleyball or
No
basketball?
ball
No, what is
now.
I
To
mean,
be a
like a
machine.
prom kind of thing, like a
Where
event
you
kind
dress
of
up, black tie,
dress up. Yeah, gala.
African churches? I don't get
That's why I free
involved.
myself.
I can't. Let me just tell you the truth, Jimmy. African churches, to get anything done there.
Even the wife,
Oh
they
my
say she own
God.
Jenny. Why the wife will say she own Jenny?
Exactly.
The
They'll be
husband will
complaining
say,
about
I
even
don't
the
get
food.
involved.
My
They will
God.
call me. I say, no, please. You've taken my husband already. Please leave me alone. I don't want. I'm not. No. You can. It's drama.
I know.
It's you
yeah,
that want
you're
to come and
trying
show
to
that you
escape.
know.
You're
It's
literally
you
trying
that
to
want to
escape
do
from
this.
that.
What
No,
are you? What?
seriously.
They will. Jesus. No, leave
Yeah.
church out of it. Tell me something outside church. I will
Yeah,
take it.
I'll
yeah.
keep thinking. I'll keep thinking.
Water and oil don't mix. Once you are in
No,
a
please.
religious
No, no,
setting,
no,
it's
no.
just difficult.
Not
Yeah,
Sele.
you have a
I'm a
point.
Sele. If Sele will go to, I beg leave. Said, Auntie B, I go to Sele too.
You
We
s-
can change things and plan couples night.
Murasi,
Mo
continue.
ti gbọ́, mo ti gbọ́. Tẹ́ bá ń tàn mí mi ní tọra mi. Ẹ ṣé, mo ti gbọ́. Couples night is on.
Even me, there are some things. I'm a music director in my church. There's some things I just can't change, even when it comes
Don't
to the
bother.
music
African
department
churches.
itself.
Jimmy, Nigerian churches? Jesus.
but we are
Yeah.
doing ourselves, honestly. We are doing ourselves.
I don't get involved, to be honest. No, my church people will tell you I don't get involved. I
Oh
don't
my
go
God.
regularly. When I go, I'm the first to leave. They even complain,
Wow.
you don't come. He did it. I say, you've got my husband. What do you need me for? He's
No
representing the
baton.
family.
Hey,
Leave me
Mhm.
alone.
Auntie B.
If somebody
Well, I
say couples
understand her.
night is the
She's kind
time.
of like, I won't say stuck, but she kind of has to support with her husband's ministry.
Of
But I
course.
feel like for other
You know
people
what?
who are
I
not
am
even
supporting. Do you know
attached,
what I'm supporting my husband to do? I'm
yeah.
supporting my husband to break away.
Mm,
Because I know he is very passionate about the things of God. This man loves God. When you see somebody that loves God, he loves God genuinely. Okay? So what I'm trying to do is to make him break away from the traditional setting of African church,
African church.
white garment setting, and just preach the gospel the way he wants to millions of people, thousands of people, hundreds of people want to hear it. I'm even trying to get him to get online. I keep telling him every day. I tell him about ministries in Nigeria who are tapping into, online. Leave the traditional thing
Yeah.
and just move away.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's what I'm trying to do because I know he has the passion. He loves God. And I can see that deeply. But you know the funny thing, Jimmy, let me make you laugh.
Yeah.
Even in that traditional setting of these four walls of a church, his growth is stunted there because of the politics of church.
It's always stunted in African
It is
churches.
stunted.
Yep.
Every Sunday you see them bringing this. Let me not talk. My church people are watching.
Don't they start? Don't they start?
No,
They
I
start
feel like you speak
after,
the truth, Auntie B. So why
They
hold
will
out?
bring all these people that know nothing about the word of God.
after a 4-hour service. They will start the 4-hour meeting.
They will now
Yeah,
start.
start
They will
gossiping.
stand there
It's-
and be telling you Irohi of what Baba Ashafa did. Every day we come from church. I tell my husband, last Sunday, you know what I do now? I listen to the word before going to church. I used to attend House on the Rock before at some point. I was born in Celestial. It's not my husband that took me to church, right? My parents were Celestial. I was born into the church. At some point after uni, I left. I became Pentecostal and I started attending House on the Rock. So Pastor Paul Adefarasin is my pastor. So I grew so much in House on the Rock. I was attending a church in Abuja. A lot of people who were in the refuge back in the day will know me. I learned so much about the word. So I developed my knowledge of the word of God and growing with the word of God outside the traditional African church white garment setting. Right. And some people are not very comfortable outside, the African setting church thing. So now, because my husband and I will always have this conversation every Sunday. I say, if I don't go, you will quarrel. You say I don't go to church, but you see the preacher. They didn't give me word. I need a word in season. I didn't get it. So now, before I go, like last Sunday, what I did was that I would tune into House on the Rock, Lagos, and listen to Pastor Paul preach.
Because you know you will
this
receive.
is a major topic for another day, honestly.
So I'm full. Before I go there, I'm full because last Sunday, let me just give you one example, Jimmy. By the time I got there, this man came. My husband was not in church. He went to preach somewhere else. My children, they have exams, so they were doing revision. It was only me that went. So when we got back home, he came back home. I told him, I said, "Do you know what happened today?" I said, "Do you know who preached?" He said, "Eh, who preached?" I told him, I said, "Do you know?" I said, "Oh my God, I didn't get anything. He was busy. What happened in 1970? What happened? I don't care about that. I want to hear the word of God." So when it comes to that aspect of traditional African church, me, I'm even trying to get out,
Breakaway, yeah.
break away. Because there are so many people that want to hear the word, and I know my husband knows the word of God. He is grounded in it. He's not a technology person, but he has a iPad that has all the translation in this world because he spends so much time in it. He's invested in it.
Yeah, that's like my
But I
dad.
feel like
Yeah.
even the traditional setting that we are is limiting him. So you
Of
see what I
course.
mean? So
Of
all
course.
those couples, kini that
Yeah.
it won't work in this
To be
setting.
honest, you're fun. The funny thing is, when we tried it in that church, it only lasted for 1 or 2 years.
No, it won't last. They will fight you. The kind of politics in African
It
churches, you
didn't
don't even
last.
want to
Oh
go
my
there.
God.
I beg. Let's
Uh,
forget that one. It
okay,
won't work.
I'll
Will it
keep
work?
digging. I'll keep thinking.
Dig. If they don't have.
Somebody, the one I just said, right? I just said when they did it in my church, they brought a preacher who preached throughout the whole thing. Somebody asked me the other time, said, "Did you say something about it?" I said, "You don't understand.
What
You,
are you going to say?
you don't
What
understand.
are you going to say?
I was born into this. Like,
It
it's
is
not,
boring,
you know,
because
it's,
okay, it's
it's better
another
to
topic
just
for
separate
another
it.
day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jumi. I appreciate you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Auntie
Thank you, my
B, I have
darling.
to
Good to
jump
see you,
off.
Jimmy.
Thank you
Thank you.
so much
Nice
for
to meet
having me.
everybody.
Chloe, you're still here. Sorry, my darling.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
go
okay.
ahead.
I have to jump off to go get my kids. I thank you so much for having me. And then thank you, Mr. Ola, for clarifying the Isonu to Auntie B.
Who is this person I'm talking to?
Chloe.
Well, this is my first time
Oh,
of joining.
okay. Good to see you.
But
Thank you.
I listened to
Auntie B is always on lemewa. Jeez, I'm like Auntie
Isonu
T.
Lemewa. It's
It's
actually
on.
Isonu, not
It's
Isonu.
on. Not it's on.
Isonu. All right, thank you.
Isonu.
Thank you so much.
Isonu.
Bye.
Yoruba. Now what? Isonu. What is Isonu? Okay.
All right, I'm
People are
done.
encouraging that word. They say, please encourage him to reach out online. Hey, if my husband preach, honestly, if he preach, you will give your life to Christ by force too. I'm telling you. Oh, he's good. He's good.
So it's becoming obvious to me now why you fell in love with him. That's why I asked you earlier. I said, "What do you love?
He
What is it that you
loves
love the
God
most about him?"
absolutely. He loves God absolutely.
Yeah. So you have to stay focused on that, and stay focused on the things you want, and to be stay focused on what you want and keep expressing. Don't get tired. Sometimes it's tiring. There's a difference between being tiring and getting tired. Don't get tired. Tap into the
As long
things.
as we go to that place tomorrow, I'm okay for now. The
It's,
short term solution is going to that outing tomorrow.
imagine this, Auntie B. Imagine if before all of this, right? Imagine if you said, "God help you," and you don't come with me, and you just end the conversation, right? Let's say he's even that stubborn and he doesn't go with you, right? Do you think his mind will be at rest throughout the time? If you were that upset, it won't be. These are some of the things you need to tap into, right?
Yeah.
Everyone cares about something, right?
Yeah.
So I know it's difficult because in the short term you're worried about what you want, and you want to get to it now.
I
But
know.
there's a
I know.
process. There's a
Yeah.
process. There are a couple of things I want to leave you with, right? And everybody that's listening, right? Is if you're not having conversations about relationship with your spouse, things are difficult. And also it's very difficult to be having conversations about relationships with your spouse. Most people don't. They're just living. They're just enjoying. So there are 4 questions. Who is expressing a dissatisfaction, right? Who is expressing the dissatisfaction? You're not happy about something. Who is that person? That's the person that has leverage.
Yeah.
And then also, what does the person want? That's the second question, right? Number 3 question is that why do you want what you want? Right? The fourth question is that the perpetrator, what value are they getting from you, including the value they're getting from what is actually feeling like dissatisfaction to you? See, before you answer all of this question, even you self-tired, but you're doing the work, right? And then you're removing yourself from the space where you're just focused on all these different things that you don't want. The things you don't want, but they are easily replaced when you start getting things you want. You see what I'm saying? So, but I really appreciate this conversation. I think
Yeah.
we should do more of it,
Mhm.
And I think it's easy to focus in on the perpetrator and tell us how they are wrong and all this kind of they should do better. I agree 100%, but that's not where the work is. The work is
Mm.
internal reflection.
Mm.
We have to start from there, at least start from internal reflection.
Thank
So
you. Thank you so much, Ola. Really appreciate you spending all this time with us.
it
God
was
bless
lovely.
you.
My
Thank
type
you.
of topic, I had to clear some things to make it clear.
I know, I
Yeah.
know. Thank you.
All
Really
right.
appreciate
We'll
you.
talk soon. Bye.
God bless you.
Mhm.
Talk soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh Women Connect Hub says he's been not sure if someone has mentioned this, but I see your hobby is a good man. I feel he needs to know how you have positively impacted marriages. My prayer is that he listens to you. Thank you. Yeah, he is a good man. Honestly, he is a good man. The things, all these red flags that we used to look at, cheating, any kind of abuse, nothing like that. But as you grow old in the marriage, you now realize that, okay, you need more. Okay, you need more. And, I'm not ashamed to put this out here today. Some people didn't want me to say, they wanted me to just keep quiet. Oh, me that I'm always here talking about marriage, how will it come across to people thinking that, my marriage is not hunky dory? No, it's not. It's not. So I'm not ashamed. I'm not a pretentious person. I don't know how to pretend. I say that's why some people don't like me because they will prefer people who are pretentious. I'm not. Okay. But I'm just saying this is where I'm feeling this moment. Okay. This is what I think that a lot of women need. And I'm glad that even though it comes across as something negative, and is about me. I share people's story here all the time. So yeah, why can't I share my own story? It comes across as something that will help other women to open up, or other people who are feeling neglected in their marriages to open up that marriage is not all about me and you living in the same house. We've got kids, we are raising kids, we've done very well for ourselves. We've been married for 20 years, 18 years, 15 years, 10 years, whatever. No, it's all about how do you feel now? And that's why I don't want to go back to start saying, oh, how did you start? Why did you put up with it? I don't care. That was then, this is now. Okay? Maybe I didn't know better. If you know better, you do better. It's about now. And you listening to me to when I'm saying this is what I need now for us to work, for us to survive. Okay? I don't want to be this person that will come here and tell you that my marriage is all rosy, we're all happy and everything is good. And then, God forbid, I don't know what will happen in the future. If I come here tomorrow, I was going to ask people this question. If I come here tomorrow and tell you that I'm divorcing, how will people take it? People will laugh, people will mock, people will make videos. Yeah, of course, they have the right to make the video because I make videos about people, so I don't mind people making videos about me. That's all right, it's life. It happens. But at the end of the day, it will only take 1 week, 2 weeks maximum. You stop talking about me and move on to other more sensational stories. But people need to do what they feel they need to do. It's all about you. How do you feel in this relationship? Are you happy? It's not about me. I've been 25 years married. I'm 20 years up. How many of those years were you happy? If you were happy before, are you happy now? The children are about to leave. And guys, I've always said it. I'm not one that will say I'm staying because of children. No, no. The children have their life. I have my life. No, I never encourage people to stay in such relationships. So if there's something that I feel that I'm not happy about, I'm speaking up about it because I want changes. Okay? And I hope by being vulnerable and talking to you about how I am feeling now in this marriage that I've been in, my last baby is 16 years old in December, that it can encourage you also to speak up. I don't want people to delete in silence, be enduring. Hey, hey, oh, what will people say? What will people say? Do you know how many people have deleted in the altar? And it's even more difficult for people who are in the public when you have a platform. Then it's not only you that you are considering, though. Eh? But at the end of the day, you are a human being. You have feelings. You have needs. So how long are you going to be pleasing people to say, what will people say? And you are lonely. So if you don't take anything away from this show tonight, please take away the fact that I'm being honest with you guys. I'm speaking out for myself and other wives who feel like they don't matter, they don't feel loved, they don't feel appreciated, and they are emotionally neglected in their relationship. Okay, there is no cheating, there is no sort of any abuse or anything going on, but I don't feel like I am loved. I feel lonely in the marriage. I don't feel like you are meeting my needs emotionally. Let's talk about it. Let's fix it. Let's do better. That's what I'm all about. Okay? So yeah, this is all about tonight. Date your wives. Spend time with your wife. We're not asking for too much. Spend time with your wife. Spend time with me. Tell me that I matter. Do things. Don't just wait for my birthdays or anniversary or Valentine. Mm-mm. I need more. I need more. Okay. Cherish Olivia, I think you are in the same WhatsApp group because I've been seeing your comment. He said, I was just talking to my husband about it now. He paused the TV and laughed and resumed the TV again. He will laugh. Unfortunately, because he's not listening to learn, he's listening to react. So let him pause the TV and learn and laugh. But one day, your cup will be full. Remember, we talk about the stress bucket. It will be full, and you will not be able to take it anymore, and you will check out. If you've already checked out of the marriage emotionally, checking out physically, that one is small thing. It's your gedeni. It's no big deal to check out physically because you've already checked out. A woman's most important need is emotional satisfaction. Don't give me money. I can make money by myself. Okay? Even if you don't raise children, single mothers are raising children everywhere and they are doing well. They are good at it. They are doing their best. But what a woman needs, when you say you are in a marriage, you are in a relationship, I want you to see me. I want you to appreciate me. I want you to spend time with me. I want you to celebrate me. I want you to take me seriously. So, Olivia Stevie, that your husband that is laughing now, is laughing back. It's okay. He can laugh. Somebody that laughs at things like that, a lot of African men would never take corrections. They won't even listen to understand. He's laughing. But you are not laughing. This is something that hurts you. Imagine you are expressing something that hurts you and he's laughing. What does that tell you? Is this somebody that you can correct? Is this somebody that will even take on board how you are feeling? Will he ever make any changes? Maybe, maybe not. So we'll see. But at the end of the day, when you check out, you've checked out emotionally. When you check out physically, at least you'd have spoken, you've made your grievances known, you've told him this is how I feel. So if I check out, I decide that, okay, you know what, F it, I'm done with this marriage. Nobody will say, but you've always presented a happy couple. Kinikan, 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 kinikan. Yeah. Let's do better. That's all I'm just going to say. Do better. Do better. If your husband or your wife tells you this is how they feel, don't laugh. Take it seriously. If you don't, you may regret it though. Like that comment I read at the beginning of the show, I read you a comment where a man was saying, I'm regretting it now because I took my wife for granted. Always hanging out with friends, never having time because you don't think she deserves it. Now she's gone, you are begging her to come back. She wouldn't. And once women leave emotionally and they finally leave physically, forget it. They are going to look for somebody that will give them that thing you didn't give them. They won't come back. So Ephesians 5:25 tells husbands, love your wife. Oh. Loves your wives just as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her. Do you know what it means to give yourself up for something? Hmm. Is giving yourself totally. Your wife is not a furniture. Your wife is not a piece of equipment that you keep at home. You think you just come, you eat, hey, how are you? And you just go. Any day you want to do kerewa, you think you good. Some don't even do kerewa. No, she needs more. If you don't do it, and the day she decides that, okay, enough is enough, you have yourself to blame. So I hope our men, our brothers, including Daddy, will take this seriously. I know some of our church people are going to take this up with him. I'm going to share it with him. I'm talking and I'm still talking. Okay? Live with your wife, husbands, the Bible that we read, in an understanding way, showing honor to the woman as the weaker vessel, since they are heirs with you in the grace of life, so that your prayers may not be hindered. Okay? If your wife is not praying for you, you are in trouble. That's why a lot of men struggle. Your wives are not praying for you because they don't feel like you love them enough, or you've not shown them that you love them enough for them to pray for you. If the Bible can say that if you don't dwell with your wife in so and so way that your prayers can be hindered, who am I? What am I going to say? This is the word of God that we believe in. So I'm just going to leave it here. We've done 3 hours. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate you. I appreciate your love. Thank you for your understanding, and for, even though we had a few laughs, I know you were not laughing at me, you were laughing with me, which is all right. I'm being very vulnerable tonight. But you know what? This is what the world needs. There are too many pretentious people out there. Too many people who make you seem as if everything is rosy. But we all know that life ain't rosy. Life is not rosy. So yeah, the reason why we speak is because we want solutions. We want changes. The reason why I'm coming here today, to talk about my marriage, to talk about my husband, is not because of anything. It's because I want to change. I want to change. Starting with going to that dinner tomorrow. So I'm going to keep you guys posted if we are going to go. That dinner tomorrow is the first step to say that, okay, my wife, what you are saying, I'm taking you seriously. I mean business. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate you. Brothers, please do better. Oh. Love your wife. Don't allow your wives to be suffering emotionally in terms of feeling neglected. Show them love. We need romance. We need date nights. Little things. It doesn't even need to cost money. Please, it's very important. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. Olivia TV, I hope your husband listens to you. I hope he listens. I mean, women, we can go out, we travel, we do things by ourselves, but what you do with your husband, nothing compares to it, my dear. It's different. It's different. So, if that dinner, I will let you know what happens. Honestly, I will keep you posted. I promise. I will keep you posted. Thank you so much, everybody. Please give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you've not done so. If you want us to do, or let's say we should do more. If you're on this WhatsApp, or your husband is on this WhatsApp, you want us to do more, around this sort of topics about how people are actually feeling in their marriages and their relationships, then please let me know. Send me a DM or talk to me on WhatsApp. Yeah, my WhatsApp number, I'm going to put it on the screen now. Where is it? Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate you. God bless you. Give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye, guys. Bye. Part 2. Yes. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. Hey, truth. Truth say I should bait my husband with 50 and 100 pounds. What's that? That one are money. You are talking very cheaply. Oh. If you want to talk to me about money to bait somebody, if I want to bait, start from thousands. What's 100 pounds? I beg, that one is chicken change. I'm not cheap like that. All right. £1,000 is where we'll start from. I will put it down. Bah. Kilo one beg. I beg. Money is easy to make if you are not lazy. I beg, leave matter. This is not about money. Okay? It's beyond money. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate you. God bless you. I will. Bill, I'll definitely give you an update about the outing. We'll see. Somebody say, we pray that Daddy will take you on that outing in Jesus' name. SMT. Let him not take me. Anyway, we'll see. Realities around you. Thank you, sis. I appreciate you. Good night. He's well. God bless you. Thank you. Bye, guys. Love you. Big Bay, you're waiting for the outcome. Okay. No wahala. All right. Bye, guys. See you soon.